Last night, DePaul was crushed by number 8 Marquette. Bradley dominates Missouri State in the Valley. UIC beat Evansville 88-79. Illinois State in the Valley took down Northern Iowa. And also in the Valley, Valpo lost to Indiana State. The news, a service of Fox Valley Coins. No waiting, no problem, no charge for in-store verbal appraisals. Bring your gold or silver in today, foxvalleycoins.com. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Don't miss collegiate swimming champion and women's sports advocate Riley Gaines live in Chicagoland on Friday, March 22nd at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Hear Riley talk about her fight for equality and fairness while standing up for women's safety, privacy, and equal opportunities. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/tickets. That's 560theanswer.com/tickets. Sponsored in part by Blue Star Security and by Opum Tax Advocates and attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts, knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
5:11 on AM 560, The Answer. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, and it's a service of Wendy's. Wendy's breakfast, 2 for $3. Biggie bundles let you choose your perfect duo for a limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary, not valid in a combo. Single item, of course, is always at regular price. As you're watching the Kennedy this morning, driving in, you're going to find an accident. Right shoulder inbound at Lawrence. It is our only trouble spot this morning. Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A stray shower to start things off this morning. Clouds will give way to some sun later on. The high today, 57. Clear tonight, low 35. And then a mix of clouds and sun. Breezy, some flurries tomorrow afternoon and evening. The high tomorrow at 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
47 at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer starts next on AM 560, The Answer.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Imagine what your future looks like. Is the picture a little blurry? Hey, it's Sean Thompson here for Alpha Wealth Group. When we look ahead, we're visualizing where we want to be, and for retirement, that can be hard without a written financial plan. Tom Fortino of Alpha Wealth Group can help you bring your retirement picture into focus. For decades, Tom has been crafting customized financial strategies. His goal is to help you protect your savings, grow your wealth, and create an income strategy you cannot outlive. If you're nearing or already in retirement, it's time to get your plan on paper. So bring your readers and let's take a look at it closely. Call Tom at 630-934-1855 and schedule a complimentary retirement consultation. There is no cost. There is no obligation. This is a chance to get a clearer view of your retirement. The number again is 630-934-1855 or visit alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings right here on AM 560 The Answer.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
An informed and educated citizenry is the only guarantee to preserve our constitutional republic. And each week, you'll hear from experts, not pundits, and find out what's really happening, from local issues to national politics. Listen to The Real Story with Jeannie Ives. There's no topic of public policy concern that she won't talk about. Stop the lies. Learn the truth. Join the conversation. Sunday night at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Seth Leibson of 960thepatriot.com for townhall.com. It is insulting to banana republics when we compare them to our nation's use of the courts to silence and stop Donald Trump. Banana republics of yore had a shame about it. They did their cloak and dagger work in the dark, as quietly as possible. They didn't parade and strut the way our judges and prosecutors do as they indict and try Donald Trump at federal and local levels. No, what we are seeing in the lawfare against Donald Trump to obtain what cannot be won at the ballot box, namely his defeat, is Putinism. Vladimir Putin struts and parades his use of the apparatuses of government to silence and retribute against his political foes. He has no shame about it. He sees the publicity of it as a tool and message. Come against me politically, face state-sanctioned punishment. For those who denounce Putin, wake up. The rapidity of it all is different here. The ends, and increasingly the means, are not. I'm Seth Leibson.
You are a creator. You've been inspired to design and craft incredible works of art. But nothing derails you like not having the right materials you need to get the project done. K&S Precision Metals prides itself on having the right metal pieces for you to be a maker. With a huge array of metal products for every part of your project, from beginning design to the finished product, K&S Precision Metals provides brass, aluminum, copper, stainless steel tubing, wire, and more. K&S Precision Metals only supplies the highest quality metal items. Each piece is pure metal with no lead or fillers. You can feel good that your project is made with metal manufactured right here in the USA. K&S Precision Metals are used by the medical and movie industries, artists, crafters, engineers, and educators. Family owned and operated in Chicago for over 76 years. Most orders are shipped within a day. Order direct at ksmetals.com. That's ksmetals.com. K&S Precision Metals. Our materials, your creations.
50 years of precision tooling. Now that's a lot of job shop work and custom parts. And it's why Bruscher Machining is the go-to CNC turning and machining company in Chicagoland. If you have a custom project, whether it's a single prototype or a short-run production of a few thousand pieces, give them a call today for your free custom quote, 630-876-1661. Or visit BruscherMachining.com. That's BRUCHER Machining.com. They also provide heat treating, balancing, plating, and surface coating, welding, and fabrication, plus project management. Bruscher Machining guarantees to consistently deliver high-quality parts and solutions on time for reasonable prices. Yeah, everyone says that, but the proof is in the tooling. Stop by to meet their team of seasoned pros and tour the facility located in West Chicago. To learn more about how CNC machining can turn your tough project into an operational reality, contact Bruscher Machining today for your free custom quote, 630-876-1661.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good Thursday morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft. How are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for having me.
Wow. How was your drive in? Any drama? Anything going on this morning?
Just long. That's all. Just a long drive.
Hey, what, you leave at 2 in the morning?
No, I leave at 3:50, something like that.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So I am shaking a little bit because, all right. So when I came back from France last week.
France.
Well, France, yes, the French. They're very lovely, that nice people. Nobody spoke English.
Uh-oh.
Je parlez-vous français? No. Okay, thanks. Then you use Google Translate just to say, how do I get to the bus? But I woke up and I was starving, so I do something I normally don't do, and that's eat breakfast at the old diner down the street. It's 24 hours.
Okay.
I went in, placed my order, went back to the car to do some things, you know. And I see these two black dudes wearing the black face mask with the black hoodie on, and my heart started racing.
Did they have MAGA hats on?
They didn't. I forgot. That's right. We're in MAGA country.
That's right.
And they weren't getting a tuna sandwich either. So they went in, and then I thought, oh my God, I got to call the cops. This is bad. So then because I love the guy that's the cook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's cool. And there was another woman in there that I don't know who she is. So I kind of slide in Charlie Angel style. You're like, my back's on the wall. And I get in, and I'm like this. It's just, and I look over and I go, Miguel, are you okay?
Oh,
because they were on the other side of the wall. I'm like, do you need me to call the cops? And he says to me, he goes, gangbangers eat too.
Ooh.
So
got him.
I just went, okay, and I grabbed my food.
Yeah.
And I left.
But they were masked up, though, didn't you say?
They were while they were sitting there too. They were still masked up.
Yeah. Wow.
But they were kind of leery of me, and I was leery of them because they're high school kids. So why aren't you in bed because you have school in a few hours?
It's 4 a.m, right?
Yeah. What the heck? All right. So then this morning, which leads me to this morning. So I let my dog out in the morning out front, but I clean up the poop when I get back from work. I swear I clean up the poop because I know exactly where she poos every time.
Yeah.
This morning I opened my door and there were 3 people, black hoods, the mask. One looked like literally in front of me.
Really?
And I am armed. So I immediately, and I didn't scream.
Yeah.
But I grabbed Bunky. I quickly shut the door and I locked it. And then I ran and got my protection.
Yeah.
What are my legal rights? If they charge, because it's a small spot between the sidewalk and my front door. It's about 6 steps.
Mm-hmm.
What if they could I defend myself
Not
on my
through a
front
door.
steps or through the front door? If I'm on.
Not through the front door. Yeah.
So I know
I'm not a lawyer. I
charging,
just play
but
one on radio.
If they're charging my front step, which they didn't, but I was worried that they would, and that's why I'm still shaking. Do I have a right to shoot them?
They just running towards you? They didn't do anything else?
Right.
What did they do?
No, I'm saying they didn't, but what if they look, we made eye contact.
Close the door, lock the door to dial 911. I'm just
dial 9.
I
had a friend who got carjacked,
you're in Cook
and
County.
It took almost 2 hours for
You're
them
in
to
Cook
get there.
County, you're white, and you're Amy Jacobson. They will make an
I'm white?
Did
you know that?
They will make an example out of you.
Oh, if I...
Oh, come on.
What about, here's another
What if they just wanted to come knock on the door and tell you something? Hey,
What? Oh, come vote for Bring Chicago
hey,
Home
your
Initiative.
window's open, or hey, I mean, but you have, I mean, here's the deal. Lakeview just went through what, 12 robberies in the middle
20
of the night?
robberies in 24 hours where
Yeah.
they literally dragged women
Right.
in broad daylight. The first one started at 11:15 a.m.
Right.
They dragged while they're walking down the street in broad daylight. A group of 3 to 4 black dudes,
Right.
maybe possibly some thought it was one Hispanic. They weren't sure, but they weren't white, and
So
they
they
were
look
wearing
like me,
hoods. And one was wearing a black N95 mask.
Yeah.
This COVID thing.
I wouldn't.
I mean,
I would
is
never
given-
shoot through the door in Cook County.
You what?
I would never shoot through the door in my house. At my house, neither. I just let them know I'm armed, and they may want to go away.
All right.
Yeah.
What about, okay, but anyway, so what happened to these women? One was on Ravenswood, one was on Ainsley, they didn't stop.
Yeah.
They were relentless. And they would grab women by their hair, throw them on the ground, grab a blunt object, hit them on the head repeatedly. And no, you see these surveillance videos, these ring cameras, and
That's when you carry.
and that's why are people not grabbing? Like, where are the men?
Right.
Even where are the women? If I
Yeah.
saw a woman getting the blank kicked out of her,
Yeah.
I would stand up and do something.
Now you can articulate, a fear of your life, of losing your life, great bodily harm in that situation.
All right. here's
Unload on them. I
another-
would. I'm not giving anybody that advice. That's what, if I was in that position and somebody was, 2-3 guys, that's what the Second Amendment is for.
All right.
And Illinois, I don't think Illinois is a stand your ground state. So you can't just, stand your ground. You got to make a reasonable. You got to try to get away. If you can't, they grabbing you by the head, and I got a sidearm. I'm letting them have it. DRT. That's what, we
if you
call
see?
it in the police
What
field.
if you're concealed carry and you
Mhm.
see a woman getting the crap beat out of her, like
Okay.
happened all day for 24 hours, 20 times?
Yeah.
Think about that, people.
Yeah.
And they were targeting women. A few men got robbed too
Yeah.
in the mix. But what if you see somebody beating up a woman? Can I get out a piece?
Again, this is not advice. I'm not giving anybody advice because this is Illinois.
But they're not
be a good
attacking me.
witness.
But
Dial
I'm seeing
911.
them attack someone.
First of all, dial 911. Be a good witness. And you have to be able to articulate. You thought that this person was about to lose their life or receive some great bodily harm. Then you have to make sure when you make that decision to intervene.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. You could also reach us all morning long on our text
Yeah.
line. Do you have that fired up over there, buddy? Or I could get it going for you at
Oh,
5:30.
it's up, but it's idle.
Okay.
It's been idle for the
Oh,
last
wait,
20
I could
minutes.
click this on, and here we go. There, we're in business. Craig in Mount Greenwood, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Amy, and good morning, John.
Hey, buddy.
Love when you guys are together. Hey, John, how you doing, man?
Doing well, sir.
You guys make a good team in the morning, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
But with regard to Amy, when she was asking a question about kind of like legality and all that and stuff like that, John, you're right on there, like just kind of like your thoughts, the direction you're going and everything. But you know what the shame of it is? With regard, it's all political. And we see it every day. I mean, we see it with Trump. We see it. And the thing is you could be well within your rights. You're doing it. But being in Illinois and with leftists and anybody in any place, we've seen it with other cases and everything, what they try to do with law-abiding citizens, just protect themselves or trying to protect somebody else, help somebody else out. I'm like, I would try to do something, but I have a concealed carry and everything. I would probably have something in my hand that I could use to defend myself if it didn't work out hand to hand or something like that. I don't know what I would do. I'd be afraid to use my gun because of the leftists basically coming after me for protecting myself or trying to get a criminal. That's the shame of it. What we're living through here.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks
Thanks for
why
the phone call.
Any good
You're welcome.
concealed carry trainer,
Yeah.
one of the first things they always tell you is what? Be a good witness. Mike Brown, Mike Brown, the guy that he's now doing like $25 to help people because he wants as many people in Chicago to get their concealed carry. He's doing like $25 per.
Really?
Yeah, he's.
I should sign up for that.
You probably should. He's a former police officer.
Mhm.
One of the best concealed carry. Anita Padilla used to always have him on.
Oh, and programming note, we're having
Yeah.
Anita on the show tomorrow.
No way.
At 6:35. Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, it'd be interesting to hear.
All right, so that's good. You
But
give me this information.
he always he tells his class he's always on there. He's always doing live videos, and he always says, "Be a good witness first." That's the best thing you can ever do. because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if there's 3-4 more guys around the corner,
Right.
and while you pulling your gun, they come around and see you, or you just got to be
I have
careful.
another question for you. Most of us, pretty much all of us, have detached garages.
Mm-hmm.
Walk into my car, and
I know, I parked
I
in
always
there.
back in. Oh yeah, that's right. You parked
and
in my
left the garage door open. Oops.
Yeah, he left my garage door. That's another story. He went to a Cubs game and left my garage open. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
But so if you're, so I always back in so that I drive forward and pull out.
Smart.
What if somebody attacks you in your garage? Or is that considered your house? Can you shoot?
What? Oh, you just want to shoot somebody?
No, I don't want to shoot. I'm not trigger happy. But I'm saying that time in the morning,
Right.
and no one's around,
Right.
and it's quiet, and they could be quiet too, and boom.
Yeah. Well, that has happened in Chicago.
Oh, my neighbor got
Yeah.
got 2 kids
Yeah.
at gunpoint, gun held to her head, 3:00 in the afternoon on a sunny Sunday.
Yeah.
Was robbed, and she was just grateful they didn't pull the trigger. But she
Right.
said they were kids.
Right.
Because
Of
she's
course.
a teacher, a CPS teacher too.
Well, that
and
has
she was
happened
like-
many times in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't seen any concealed carry person get arrested for it. I'll answer it that way. I've yet to see anybody that's concealed carry get arrested for that.
Bill on the Northwest Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, Amy, I just recently got my concealed carry permit, and the whole large picture is if you feel your life is in danger, then yes, you can defend yourself with your weapon. It has to be a situation where you have to feel that was your last option. And as far as what happened with your dog this morning, what you want to do is go back into your house, lock your door. If they're breaking into your house at that point, yes, your life is in danger. You can feel that your life is in danger at that point. But that's
Well, they weren't breaking in, and I don't know if they were going to the piggery, but they were walking that way.
Right.
And before I had
Yeah,
seen
you wouldn't
people in the piggery.
you wouldn't want to use
Not
your
the
weapon.
piggery. I'm sorry. I'm
for that.
sorry. Not the piggery. The diner.
Yeah, you see that on the on the turn.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use your weapon in that situation. What you want to do is try to get away from that situation.
Which is what I
So
said.
that has to be the situation where you felt you had no other option left to defend your life.
Okay. Thanks, Bill, for the phone call. I'm
But guess
learning a
what?
lot
Texas,
today.
you can unload because Florida.
Oh, that's right.
Stand your ground.
Oh, that's right.
You can stand your ground. Come at me. Guess what? The free places like Florida, Texas, where it's free.
Must be nice. David in Winnetka, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hello.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on. I think a lot comes down to just in my little world. I've never been part of law enforcement. I've never been in the military. I hang out with a lot of patriots that are former corpsmen and different things. We go to the range, blah blah blah, do all this stuff together. Bottom line, though, if you are white trying to defend yourself, you better make sure in this city.
What I just said.
You better make sure you've got a very good. Even if you've got drawn on, I mean, I conceal. I leave my gun home 90% of the time just because of the fact I'm white.
Yeah.
And, it sucks to say that, but it's real. It's true.
Yeah. Isn't that what I just said? I mean, a white offender and a black assailant.
I know. And
especially somebody like you.
What was that supposed to
Because you're Amy Jacobson.
Oh, you stop it.
I'm serious. And they would definitely want to make an example out of someone like you, Dan, Sean.
You?
No, see, I'm half.
No.
I'm half black, so.
Stop. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we're going to break down the governor's State of the State address. And later, migrant shelter madness. Did you hear what happened in Chicago and no one's talking about it? We'll tell you. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
It's 5:31 on AM 560. The Answer. We have 48 degrees, and AT&T this morning experiencing some type of outage. The website Down Detector has reported more than 32,000 outage reports already this morning. Most reported problems are in cities like L.A., Dallas, Houston, here in Chicago, and Atlanta. 10 members of Harvard's alumni have filed a federal lawsuit accusing the school of failing to address unrestrained anti-Semitism on campus. The suit claims that Harvard has not dealt with rampant anti-Semitism and anti-Jewish hate even before the Hamas terror attacks on Israel last October. Boeing today will replace the head of its 737 MAX program.
The company announced on Wednesday that Ed Clark is leaving Boeing after nearly 2 decades. The 737-9 MAX jet has been under scrutiny since a door plug blew out during an Alaska Airlines flight last month. The FAA grounded all 737-9 MAX planes following the incident. In response, Boeing has said it is revamping its quality control procedures. I'm Mark Mayfield.
The Hunter Biden laptop hearing is in Delaware's Superior Court today. The suit was filed by the man who turned it over to the FBI. U.S. prosecutors say a Japanese crime boss has been trafficking nuclear material from Myanmar to sell in Iran. Prosecutors claim the leader is in Japan's Yakuza crime syndicate, and he is expected in federal district court in Manhattan today. Chicago's Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from schools. The issue will be front and center beginning at 10:30 this morning when the board goes into public session. If officers are removed, it would impact 39 high schools, removing a total of 57 officers over the protest of many local school leaders who say they want the officers to remain on site. A second Chicago apartment fire in as many days was sent 7 to the hospital. It happened yesterday afternoon as crews were called to the high-rise in the South Shore neighborhood near 71st and Jeffrey. An infant is listed in critical condition. Dollar stores around the city are under new major regulations after a city council vote. More than 3,000 city code violations have reportedly been racked up by 150 Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Family Dollar stores across Chicago, most owned by the same corporate parent. The council overwhelmingly passed the small box retailer ordinance proposed by lead author Alderman Matt O'Shea.
Drive past any one of those 149 stores today, and you'll likely see overflowing dumpsters, broken fences, broken exterior lights.
And in Springfield, Governor J.B. Pritzker is calling for the elimination of the state's 1% grocery tax. Pritzker outlining that proposal in his State of the Budget address yesterday.
Folks are still feeling the squeeze every week at the grocery store. So there's one more thing that we ought to do. For the good of our state's working families, let's permanently eliminate the grocery tax.
The governor also called for an expanded child tax credit, as well as the purchase of some medical debt. Blackhawks have dropped 10 of 11 following a 3-1 loss to the Flyers. Number 12 Fighting Illini had all the chances in the world, but lost to unranked Penn State in Happy Valley last night. Your final 90-89. The news, a service of Turnkey.pro. With decades of C-suite experience, Turnkey knows small business. Their team of veteran consultants know how to reduce cost and grow new revenue streams. Turnkey has solutions for your business. Visit Turnkey.pro, Turnkey.pro. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Don't miss collegiate swimming champion and women's sports advocate Riley Gaines live in Chicagoland on Friday, March 22nd at Belvedere Banquets in Elk Grove Village. Hear Riley talk about her fight for equality and fairness while standing up for women's safety, privacy, and equal opportunities. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/tickets. That's 560theanswer.com/tickets. Sponsored in part by Blue Star Security and by Opum Tax Advocates and attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-57-BIBLE. That's 844-57-BIBLE. 844-57-BIBLE.
50 years of precision tooling. Now that's a lot of job shop work and custom parts. And it's why Bruscher Machining is the go-to CNC turning and machining company in Chicagoland. If you have a custom project, whether it's a single prototype or a short-run production of a few thousand pieces, give them a call today for your free custom quote. 630-876-1661. or visit BrucherMachining.com. That's BRUCHER Machining.com. They also provide heat treating, balancing, plating, and surface coating, welding, and fabrication, plus project management. Brucher Machining guarantees to consistently deliver high-quality parts and solutions on time for reasonable prices. Yeah, everyone says that, but the proof is in the tooling. Stop by to meet their team of seasoned pros and tour the facility located in West Chicago. To learn more about how CNC machining can turn your tough project into an operational reality, contact Brucher Machining today for your free custom quote. 630-876-1661.
Hi, it's Scott Tucker, host of Retirement Dakota with Scott Tucker, heard on AM 560 on Sundays at 8 a.m. and again at 5 p.m. I want to offer you a free copy of my latest book, Escape Illinois, Should I Stay or Should I Go? To get your free copy of my latest book, Escape Illinois, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Just go to retirementdakota.com. That's retirementdakota.com. And please listen every Sunday at 8 a.m. and again at 5 p.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready for the next step, visit surroundchicago.com right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Visit surroundchicago.com today. Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RADIO for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code RADIO.
5:39, let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this update is a service of Del Bacchio Marchetti Group of At Properties, Christie's International Real Estate. Experts in the northwest suburbs and Chicago with over $800 million in sales. You'll get the most value for your home. Visit the DMREgroup.com. Edens is off on time. So is the Kennedy right now. Stevenson, though, already showing brake lights inbound between Ashland and the Dan Ryan. And the Dan Ryan itself, South End heavies, very typical for this time of day. 14 in from 95th in your delayed inbound between the Bishop Ford I-57 split and 83rd. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Morning shower followed by clouds, breaking for some afternoon sun. High 57. Clear and colder overnight, low 35, and flurries, especially along the lakefront, reported for tomorrow. 48 at O'Hare, 50 at Midway, 45 in Aurora. And your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
All right, learning all sorts of things about the budget. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. You can also reach us on our text line, which John Anthony is in charge of.
I'm watching it.
He's all over that.
Yes.
And what's the text line?
Well, somebody said, Amy, check active self-defense on YouTube. They have real-life defense videos to learn from, so you may want to check that out on YouTube.
All right, but the text line number is?
Oh, I don't see the number.
I'm going to, ready?
Yeah,
ready? 646. Now write this down.
I'm writing it.
All right, 64636. You have to type in DA, then a quick comment.
Are you serious?
What do you mean, am I serious?
Geez, that's a lot of words. That's a lot of words so early in the
morning.
morning.
Do you know how to text into places?
Yeah, I do it. I do it a lot on Mike Gallagher's show.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
What's his text line?
It's his.
Is it the turnkey.pro text line?
No, it's a 1-800 or something. It's a long number. Yeah.
I've never done that. I've tried, but I'm not really too good with technology, as Justin knows. We could have a segment, Old Ladies and iPhones, but we got to work on that, Justin. Because I just got a new iPhone 15, and I'm still trying to figure this thing out here.
Right.
All right, so did you watch the State of the State, Pritzker's 6th State of the State address, which is really the budget address?
No.
Why not?
Because-
I told you that
No,
you had to watch it.
No,
it was your homework assignment.
I listened to some of the state reps that opined about it after.
Yes. So this is what it is. So this is the first year, guys, that lawmakers won't have pandemic money.
Yeah.
To fund the programs that they want. $891 million budget deficit. That's what we have right now. So one way they're thinking about generating revenue is to raise the sales tax on sports betting from 15 to 35%.
That's a big jump.
Yeah. And State Senator Bob Martwick, excuse me. Martwick.
Yeah.
Oh, here's his reaction to that.
I think one has to be concerned that maybe if we go too far, we could potentially kill off some of the revenues that we're getting for it.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Let's bring into the conversation Mike Scott, because you've been around a long time. What did you make yesterday? Anything you learned from Governor Pritzker's State of the State?
Thanks for calling me old. I appreciate it. Wow.
No,
Holy
you're not
cow,
old.
Just walk in the studio and I'm old now. I got gray hair, but come on.
Well, I know that this is just a starting point for negotiations.
Right.
But the $182 million to go to migrants after we've already dropped $500 million, that's, Pritzker was trying to sell that yesterday.
Now, I won't pretend that any of this is easy, but it would be irresponsible to do anything but come here, lay out the scope of the challenge, tell you what I think we need to do, and then work with you to make it happen.
I mean, where are we getting all this money?
The people.
Pardon?
The people. You.
Well, then
me.
shouldn't we have a say in how our tax dollars are being spent?
That's what our representatives are elected for.
Well, you need to look very carefully at who is representing you in Springfield. And if it is a Democrat, they are not going to oppose, according to House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch, that it's important to remember from his perspective that most of these proposals are already baked into the cookie.
Yeah.
That they are going to be there's going to be no debate, quite literally, about whether or not these are in the package. There may be reductions, highs and lows, and we've seen already some Democrats saying, as John said, maybe we need to moderate that tax on sports gaming just a little bit. But it's a revenue source that they need, and if they don't get, there's a big hole already with a $919 billion budget deficit.
Right.
That makes the budget deficit even bigger if they don't get that amount in gaming. That's how they're trying to balance the budget. Couple of moderately good things. Pension debt is paid for in the budget for the year. And there are other things, some bond debt, some mid-level and short-term bond debt that is actually being taken care of through this budget. So moderately good, but, the pension situation is completely funded by property taxes. No help there.
Yep.
And that's the thing. And then so I watched this 52-minute speech because you didn't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And there was some standing ovations, and one was about the grocery tax. And the thing with the grocery tax is our state rep, Tony McCumbee, who's
She's
the
the
House Minority Leader. Yeah, House Minority Leader's like, that's not going to be good because it's a local tax.
That is not a state tax. That is a local tax. The grocery tax is a local tax. So he just took $350 million out of local municipalities and villages.
She's right.
Right. So is that negotiable?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's probably one of the throwaways. And this is how, listen.
Because you were a state rep for how
You want to
long?
know the reason why I didn't listen to it? Because it's all a lie. Illinois has not had a balanced budget in years. I want to see what COGFA has to say.
Who?
COGFA. That's the Commission on Government Forecasting and Accountability. They do an estimate every year about the budget. They haven't released their estimate yet or their forecast. They haven't released any of that yet. I want to hear what they have to say because there's always a supplemental bill and most people are not paying attention at this time.
Right.
Because they know that the budget is not balanced, so then they come and sneak in a supplemental bill later to cover whatever the gap is. That's why I don't listen to it because it's all. I didn't even listen to it when Rauner was governor, and I was sitting there in the House.
You were in the
Yeah.
You were sitting in the House chamber, or you're sitting at the state capitol, and you didn't
because Republicans didn't have a say in the budget.
Right.
We don't have a say in the budget. They'll drop that budget bill when it's time for them to pass it. Sometime they're just going to drop it in the middle of the night. and then there's going to have to be a vote on it. That's
sure,
how
but
this
there's got to be a way, according to House Republicans, to balance the budget without a grocery tax. Illinois is only one of 10 states that have a grocery tax.
Yeah.
82% of Americans do not have a grocery tax. And among the 10 biggest states in the country, Illinois is the only one with a grocery tax. A grocery tax, according to House Republicans and Senate Republicans, is not just regressive. It eats away at your ability to be able to afford on top of 22% inflation over the past 4 to 5 years.
Because during COVID, Pritzker froze the grocery tax, remember?
He did for a year, but then it went back up.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I go to the grocery store and it's scary.
But Republicans have tried to get rid of the grocery tax dating back to 2021. Don DeWitt of St. Charles has introduced legislation year after year after year to get rid of this and to repeal the grocery tax. It always dies in committee.
Okay, another thing he proposed, $53 billion spending plan to help homeless in the Black community.
I am willing to spend serious political capital and put my shoulder to the wheel to get this done.
You know
Why
what this
are
is
you
about?
rolling your eyes?
This is
let me
about
guess.
the Mark Carters of the world coming out talking about what they've done, what Pritzker and his administration, Brandon and his administration have done, and they haven't what they have not done in the Black community. This is what they're trying to do is just grease their hands. Come on, really? You know, Mark Batnick, he's a former state representative. Right. He wanted to go to a 2-year budgeting system. That will be a great idea. And you know what else we need? We need a fiscal audit. What do they call the more extreme one?
What's bigger than an audit?
A forensic audit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need that in our budgeting. You want to find the waste in our budgeting system? Yeah, because I remember voting against a budget that was $32 billion in 2013, and to say that they're voting on a $53 billion budget, that's just the general fund. That's not considering the other half of the budgeting tiers, the BIPs, and all of that.
Right.
See, you can get lost in the minutia with the budgeting. Mm-hmm. But I really was fascinated by it because they don't tell you, that's $52 billion, but the pensions alone take so much of this budgeting.
So the
but they don't
$53 billion?
Yes. It's already, to your point, it's already where the money has to go is already baked in.
Right. I think one of the things to look at in terms of 2-year budgeting is look at what other states around us do. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, I think has a 2-year budget. If not, it's at least a biannual
I think Texas
budget.
too.
Texas has a 2-year budget. Yeah. You're right. It's 2-year budgets are in most state houses are pretty much the norm, but not in states like California, New Jersey, New York, Illinois, obviously. And to your point on the $52 million, right, to the homeless effort.
Well, out of the $53 billion, he said, he wants millions to go to the Black community.
Right. That couples with what Brandon Johnson did yesterday, his borrowing $1.28 billion. Billion with a B. Jeez. Borrowing, paid off by expiring TIFs to be able to fund at least half of it. New development projects completely regulated by City Hall. It's
what could go wrong? Government housing?
it's the way things have been done. Okay, certain contractors will get the bids. Certain iron fencing will go up. Certain banks will get very favorable lending. That's the way these things are baked at City Hall, but it goes hand in hand with Pritzker and Brandon Johnson's proposals yesterday. Go hand in hand.
Sorry for interrupting, but about 50,000 homeless people are in Chicago, they estimate. Did they ask
they all Black?
Well, I don't know. They're not. They're not all Black.
So the white homeless
get left out, but the
Latino?
Black homeless, here, come this way. Yeah. We have a home for you. But a lot of homeless don't want homes. I cannot stress this enough.
That's true.
I have spent so much time with the homeless over the years. Catholic charities I was with, and then when I was in El Paso, I always was involved in the community and volunteered, and they want to be free.
You know how I know you're telling the truth? When I worked at Safer Foundation, because the Safer Foundation, we help ex-offenders and people like that. Almost every person who was homeless said, I don't want the responsibility of home ownership or renting. I like it out here. I'm free. Nobody bothers me. I control this. So you're right. I've heard that time and time again.
There's one. I was going to say there's one other thing that people don't realize, and it doesn't necessarily hit them until the back end in this budget proposal. Let's make sure that everybody knows it's a proposal.
Correct.
Right.
Negotiations are starting
amongst Democrats.
Right. There's an elimination of a tax credit that keeps medium and large size retailers alive. It's a cap on deductions that large corporations can take on their income taxes. That's going to be eliminated. That's well over $500 million that Pritzker is counting on to try to balance the so-called balanced budget. But it's a big deal because this is one of those things that, according to those who are looking at this right now, it's one of those back-end things that's going to hit middle-income families because they're going to be forced to pay more for the very products that they need to run their households because retailers are not going to be able to take this cap on. They're not going to be able to take the larger deduction, and they're going to be capped.
Wow.
Yeah. And Amy, I think people forget. Remember when Pritzker first came in the office? Remember the capital bill and all and for the road improvements? People forget that all these fees, your car registration fee, all this stuff went up.
People city sticker and then
the gas tax,
and then you got to
double.
buy a toll thing.
Yeah,
now
on
we need
top.
a new, right, and we need a new.
And what is wrong with Illinoisans?
We're getting rid of the old block that you put on your windshield.
The transponder.
The transponder, right.
That's actually, if
good idea.
Those who are, it's actually a good idea. And if you believe those who are in charge of the tollway, it's going to actually reduce cost.
Yeah, but
over time.
So is it beneficial if we all go and get rid of the block? And
I want to get rid of all of it, though. I mean, listen, how many times? Because
I'll
I'll tell you what.
in place to pay for schools.
Yes.
Or is that the lottery?
Yes, but all of it.
Fund schools.
But we're paying for the roads to be repaved, to be fixed, to be built, and then we have to pay to use the road at the same time. What? I want to cuss. Illinoisans, wake up! Yeah, you continuously want this type of leadership leading you. Get over yourselves.
And as Dan Proft would say, you funded the retirement plan of John Quarters Boyle.
Yes.
3 times over.
Yes.
As he skimmed off the top from those one-armed bandits that used to be the baskets.
And what are we getting? The roads are awful.
Well,
I mean, there's potholes everywhere. I know we had sub-zero temperatures and now it's warm. But you go to Europe.
Yeah.
And I drove through France and Luxembourg and Belgium and the Netherlands. Their roads are gorgeous, and they don't have tolls. And our roads are, I mean, seriously, and our side roads too. It's just, I mean, I'm surprised I haven't broken an axle on the car yet.
Construction.
Well, look at the taxes they pay too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but still.
Well over 50%.
But let's build the Autobahn.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Mike Scott.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century with IoT Smart Connected Scanning. It's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts: knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
You're smart, you're busy, and don't have time to waste on the mainstream media cycle. Salem News Channel breaks that cycle. Topics that matter from hosts worth watching. Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Open debate and free speech you won't find anywhere else. Salem News Channel. Not like the other guys. Watch anytime on any screen. Free 24/7. Find everything you need to know at snc.tv. That's snc.tv.
When your home or business has an insurance claim, the next step is very important. The claim process with insurance can be tedious, hard to understand, and difficult to navigate. You need someone working for you. You need a licensed claim adjuster. Why? The insurance company will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them, not you.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company. If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at CrosscomInc.com. That's CrosscomInc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Democrats trying to bleed Trump's businesses dry, and top leaders are bringing back the Russian hoax. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Chicago's Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from schools. Dollar stores in the city are under new regulations after a Chicago City Council vote. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
There are hang-ups in phone service. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Thousands of reports of outages
across the U.S. and Canada this morning, according to tracking website downdetector.com. There was also word that 911 services had apparently crashed in some areas, with several police departments warning people had been unable to call or text for help.
That's Fox's Lillian Wu. AT&T customers affected the most, with 32,000 outages at the peak about 2 hours ago. President Biden's considering taking executive action at the border. A source tells Fox there could be restrictions on asylum claims to keep migrants who cross the border illegally from staying. Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace tells Fox this may be why.
The vast majority of Americans, regardless of their political party affiliation, do not support Joe Biden on the border.
Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is urging the president not to take those actions, posting on X, "Doing Trump impressions is not how we beat Trump." President Biden's brother spent hours answering questions in private from House Republicans and two committees in their impeachment inquiry.
James Biden has insisted that his brother had no ties to the family's business deals. And in a statement, he said, "I've had a 50-year career in a variety of business ventures. Joe Biden has never had any involvement or any direct or indirect financial interests in those activities. None."
Fox's Doug Luzader. Republicans say James Biden contradicted himself. Congressman Jason Smith tells Fox they have messages proving
James Biden was intimately involved along Hunter, Tony Bobolinsky, Rob Walker, and others in selling access to his brothers to foreigners.
Iran-backed Houthi militants have gone on the attack from Yemen again.
2 missiles hit a cargo ship owned in the United Kingdom and sailing under the flag of Palau. British officials say the attack caused a fire on board and coalition military forces are on their way to help.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. U.S. military has hit Houthi targets in Yemen again. America's listening to Fox News.
48 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago's Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from CPS. The issue will be front and center beginning at 10:30 this morning when the board goes into public session. If officers are removed, it would impact 39 high schools, removing a total of 57 police officers. A second Chicago apartment fire in as many days. sent 7 to the hospital yesterday afternoon. It was a high-rise building that caught fire near 71st and Jeffrey. An infant listed in critical condition this morning at Comer Children's Hospital. Chicago White Sox owner and chairman Jerry Reinsdorf gave an exclusive interview to Crane Chicago Business this week and gave some detail on the cost and the size of the team's proposed stadium project in the South Loop. Reinsdorf was in Springfield this week, as we told you, and the first total cost on Phase 1 of the ballpark project, according to Crane Chicago Business, could hit $4 billion. Funding would come from a variety of sources, including a TIF district established in a deal between the city and the company developing the so-called 78-site related Midwest. The man charged with killing 7 people and injuring dozens more at a 4th of July parade in Highland Park in 2022 will stand trial in February of 2025. A judge ruling Wednesday Robert Cremo III will be charged with 21 counts of first-degree murder. Mayor Brandon Johnson formally introduced a proposal at a city council meeting Wednesday which borrows $1.25 billion to fund affordable housing
of our state's working families. Let's permanently eliminate the grocery tax.
His budget plan, which totals $52.7 billion, includes more than $181 million to tackle the state's migrant crisis, but State Rep Blaine Wilhauer says Pritzker himself is to blame.
You can't literally invite people to come here with this insane sanctuary state policy and then complain that we don't have the resources when they arrive.
Meantime, Chicago officials are closing 4 city shelters as the number of migrants arriving in the city slows down. The facilities are located in the Loop, North Lawndale, Lakeview, and North Park neighborhoods. Blackhawks lost to the Flyers 3-1. College hoops in the Big Ten, number 12 Illinois falls on the road 90-89 to unranked Penn State, and Northwestern will host Michigan at Welsh Ryan later on tonight. The news, a service of In Grace with Pastor Jim Scudder Jr., now heard on Sunday morning at 6:30 on AM 560. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes there are scary people among us.
I have known all my life that the battle for good is a very, very difficult battle. So this doesn't surprise me. Between Hamas and Israel, that there are people who are neither Jew nor Muslim, and they support Hamas. These people are frightening, actually.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Charlie Kirk at 1 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
When a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty, okay, who's there to help them or their families left behind? Who's helping our homeless vets and our nation to never forget 9/11? Well, that's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and right now they can only continue this great work with your generosity. We hope you'll join all of us here at Team Hannity. Go to their website, commit to $11 a month. It's the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org. The letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I've been a clinical psychologist since 1991. I was licensed, and I love being a clinical psychologist because I like helping people. I tell people that Balance of Nature is a wonderful supplement because I truly trust in the product. I feel great, and because I feel great, I'm able to do everything that I want to do. I really love taking Balance of Nature.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, a service of Turnkey.pro. With decades of C-suite experience, Turnkey knows small business. Their team of veteran consultants know how to reduce costs and grow new revenue streams, all without having to hire on-site professionals. Visit Turnkey.pro. That's Turnkey.pro. Woodridge reported an accident this morning, Woodward Avenue and Heritage Parkway. On the expressways, we've already got jam traffic, slowdowns inbound between 103rd and the Dan Ryan. The Dan Ryan itself at 15 minutes, 95th into the Burn Circle interchange. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A strange shower this morning. Clouds will break for some sun. The high today 57. Clear tonight low 35. A mix of clouds and sun. Breezy day tomorrow. A couple of flurries for the afternoon and evening. The high tomorrow at 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
In our QC Kinetics Weather Center, 48 at O'Hare, 50 Midway, 45 in Aurora, 44 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line. You could reach us too at 64636. Type in DA and a quick comment because Democrats are trying to bleed Trump's businesses dry. New York's Attorney General Letitia James is now threatening to seize Donald Trump's assets if he can't pay that egregious penalty from that civil fraud verdict. I mean, it is insane what they are doing to our president. And you know, at the beginning of all this, I thought, you know, I love Nikki Haley. I'm going to support her. Or, you know, I've flirted with DeSantis. He didn't flirt with me back, though. So that was bad. And I'm with Trump.
Yeah.
100%.
Good.
Okay?
Good.
You got me to the point. But here she is on ABC News. Now, why, when you get a victory, would you go on ABC News? But, you know, she didn't want to get him. She wants to get him. She wants 40 Wall Street. That's what she wants.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek, judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets. We are prepared to make sure that the judgment is paid to New Yorkers. And yes, I look at 40 Wall Street each and every day.
I mean, that infuriates me because she wants him to pay now.
Yeah.
And President Trump responded during that town hall with Laura Ingraham.
Well, I have a lot of cash, but that doesn't mean he can take it. I mean, you know what he did? I think he looked at my cash and he said, well, we'll take all of his cash. Letitia James is horrible attorney general in New York, campaigned on I will get Trump, I will get Trump. They're sick. And this judge is sick. He got overturned on this case so far, overturned by the appellate division 4 times already on this case.
312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line. So I didn't know this. I learned this yesterday by watching Fox News and reading about it too. Believe it or not, I do read. That he has to, Judge Jean Pirro, who I always pronounce her name wrong, she said that he has to pay the $350 million in order for the appeal process to begin.
What?
But then they corrected her and said, no, he has to show that he has $350 million in assets,
right? Which
in order to begin the appeal process.
Yeah, which he does.
Yeah.
I mean, the properties alone.
But I mean, I've been through some lawsuits,
Yeah.
and it is draining on your soul.
Yeah.
And a lot of people crawl up in a ball in a corner.
Yeah.
Because it's too much.
Yeah.
And he is out there fighting every day.
Yeah.
And fighting for us, because if they could do it to us, if they could do it to him, they could do it to us.
And he's been saying that from day one. They're not after me. They're after you. I'm just standing in the way. That was his quote. But I keep going back to, please help me understand, how can somebody running for office target this individual, and then use an archaic statue to come after him? Where's the due process? I mean, remember, in New York, he was guilty. He was found guilty before the trial even started.
Right, because the judge came out. I mean, we knew.
Yes.
We knew what the judge's positioning was. Why even have a trial?
Think about that, Amy. Think about that. Think about that happening to you. Because, I mean, look at the fallout of what's happening. Did you hear Kevin O'Leary?
Oh yeah, where I'm gonna.
Grant Cardone basically said cease and desist any work in New York from here on out.
Oh yeah, here's Kevin O'Leary on CNN.
Yeah, yes.
When you get a developer that builds a building and he says it's worth $400 million and he wants to borrow $200 million from a bank, which happens every day, everywhere on earth, including every American city, every developer is an entrepreneur. They shine the light on their building and they say it's worth $400. The bank does its own due diligence, as was done in this case, because they're very good at it. The banks are very good, and they say, no, it's worth $300. We're only going to loan you $150 million. That haggling has gone on for decades. That's how it works. And then in this case, even, the bank that was supposedly defrauded testified and said, we didn't lose anything. We want to do business with this guy again. We'd like to. But the judge said, no. Let's penalize this developer for $355 million. And if we're going to do that, let's penalize all the developers all across America. They've all done the same thing. All of them should go to jail, and we should stop building buildings. That's what the message is from New York. Even the governor herself is concerned about what this looks like to investors all around the world. It's not just U.S. domestic. All around the world, people are talking about what happened here. You really think people want to invest money in New York after this? How about we go somewhere else?
I don't even want to go visit New York ever.
Yeah.
I don't want to give them a dime.
This is insane what they're doing.
And so, what if they did get the $400 million? Because what every day it's what 87,000 in interest.
Yes, a fine.
A fine.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
80s?
fines. Remember when I said fines?
Oh,
from our previous discussion. Remember, you hear city says we haven't raised any new taxes, but did you increase the fines? A fine is an increase in a fine. Fees, that's a tax.
Right.
Fees are a tax. So don't miss me with that. I'm sorry. I've just remembered.
Right, yeah, but that $400 million, I mean, don't you think it's probably going to go to illegals in New York?
Well, it's exactly where it's going to go.
Instead of, seized assets should go to the office,
Yeah.
To fight crime. But
Yeah.
I don't trust those people.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get a dime. 312-642-5600. Tom and Oswego, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, guys. I think us as Republicans/conservatives need to understand that, we're trying to win certain battles and we're competing in the arena of ideas. They are not.
Yep.
Their goal is to eliminate us. Ours is to win a position. Theirs is to eliminate the position of opposition. And we better start realizing they don't play by rules.
Nope.
They don't care about standard norms. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about us. They care about winning and power.
And control.
Period.
Yep. Perfectly said, Tom.
And now they're starting this whole Russian hoax thing.
Yeah.
And listen to this. This is from yesterday. Just a montage of Jen Psaki or as Dan calls her,
Hakeem Jeffries.
Was with Nancy Pelosi. Hakeem Jeffries was on The View.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
What do you think? We're all wondering this question, Speaker Pelosi. What do you think Putin has on him? I mean, it sure seems like something.
So I don't know what he has on him, but I think it's probably financial.
What do you think Putin has on him, on Trump?
There's a growing pro-Putin faction in the Republican Party, and it's led by Donald Trump.
I mean, they are going, and then this E. Jean Carroll, which I still cannot get over, what she did to Trump. I mean, this happened 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Still
she
don't
couldn't
know the date.
No, she doesn't remember She doesn't remember the season. She doesn't remember the month.
Right. Yeah.
And she's crazy. She has a cat named Vagina. Hello. She has a wall on her house where all the dead dogs' names are painted.
Right.
She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And she thinks she's going to get, $83.3 million?
Plus the additional $5 million.
Plus,
initial,
yeah.
So.
And this is not a serious woman.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting to play this soundbite because I know real rape victims out there. She's not a real rape victim.
You've talked about using some of
Trump's money you're about to get to help shore up women's rights. Do you know what that might be, what that might look like?
Yes, Rachel. Yes.
Tell me.
I had such great ideas for all the good I'm going to do with this money. First thing, Rachel, you and I are going to go shopping. We're going to get completely new wardrobes, new shoes, motorcycle for Crowley, new fishing rod for Robbie. Rachel, what do you want? Penthouse? It's yours, Rachel. Penthouse and France? You want France? You want to go fishing in France? No? Oh, all right. Okay.
Was there attorney
That's
sitting
a joke. Although if me fishing in France could do something for women's rights, I would take the hit. You know, I would obviously take one for the team. All right, let me as if you need persuasion in that regard. Let me finish with a final question.
Isn't that sickening?
Wow.
And she's just like, she's not. The first thing I would say if I was in her position, a rape crisis hotline number, domestic abuse shelter for women and children. You want a penthouse in France?
Wow.
We're going to go shopping?
Wow.
This is not a serious person. This is just another witch hunt against Trump.
And
another example where they changed the rules so that they could prosecute him.
Yep. They changed them.
It's infuriating. Bob in Buffalo Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Amy. Thanks for taking my call. Good to hear you, John, subbing for Dan. I was going to talk about some other topics, but since you're mentioning this one, with regards to the settlement, I'm wishing that some of the conservative businesses in New York or New York City would leave. Let's put the pressure on them.
What's happening?
Desert. You know, a big one would be let's have Fox News say we're going to move to Miami.
That's a big ask to make them go
And,
to New Jersey. But it has been done because during the 68 riots, all the TV stations were in Detroit, and then they all moved out to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Well, except for
Question
DIV.
for you, Amy.
Yes, sir.
Question for you, Amy. You still there?
I'm here, Bob. How are you?
You mentioned one dog. What's the story? You have two dogs.
I don't let them both out because the other one is in a timeout, Bob. The other one has been a bad pooch. So he's on a tighter leash, if you know what I mean. But thanks, Bob. I'm glad you care about my bullies.
And then one final thing. Today is the real President's Day.
Oh.
It's George Washington's birthday, and it's also Engineers Week.
Oh.
And nobody mentions that.
We love
You just did.
engineers. Yes, you just
Yep.
did. And Bob, guess what? You
Okay.
are our favorite. Well, my dad's an engineer, sorry. So he takes top spot. And then when my son graduates from Georgia Tech in engineering, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's you, Bob. Well, then my grandpa was an engineer.
Yeah.
We come from a long line of Swedish engineers. So, all right, thanks, Bob.
There
Thanks
were
for
a
the
lot
phone
of them
call.
in Chicago.
Yep, that's
Did,
true. We help build Chicago.
You heard about the truckers in New York?
Yeah. This is my trucker Jake. I love. Well, it's not a convoy. It's a non-convoy. But anytime I could play the song Convoy.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Definitely got us in the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we got us a convoy.
Oh yeah. Remember this song?
No, I don't.
Did you never saw the movie Convoy?
I'm messing with you, Amy. I do. I remember this.
Anyway, it's not a convoy. It's a boycott. And here's Trucker
Right.
Jake. Breaker 19, Breaker 19.
Good morning, Patriots. This is Trucker Jake. Let's talk about the New York City trucker boycott. Of course, overnight, liberals all have become experts on the trucking industry. They all know logistics forward and backwards. Well, we're all going to lose our jobs. We're all going to be replaced by AI. Here's the thing. We have a deficit in this country of 85,000 truck drivers. You want to do AI? Bring it. We could use the help. But it's not going to happen in my lifetime. It's not going to happen in your lifetime. It's not going to happen in your grandkids' lifetime. And then you're going to say, oh, the illegals, they're going to take your jobs. Really? The illegals? They can't pass a background check, can't pass a drug screening, and then you got the language barrier. What insurance company is going to hire someone who cannot pass a background check? So anyway, truckers, you're safe. Those of you truckers who have to work, totally get it. You do you. No one's going to eat your lunch if you're not going to,
And guess what? There are female truckers too. Here's trucker Jesse Hernandez.
It could shut New York City down.
And, I don't want to hurt the people of New York. That's not what I'm trying to do. But my part in it, if New York just loses 10%, just 10% of the trucks that go in there, their prices are going to skyrocket on everything from milk to eggs to any type of goods that the consumer needs.
So here's our good friend Curtis Sliwa is going to be joining us at 8 o'clock, and we're going to ask him about the truckers and what's going
Guardian
on.
Angels
and if
guy,
they're
right?
he's a guardian angel, cat lover too, but he's going to be joining us to see if it's really making a dent in what's going on in New York. Let's go to Frank in Tinley Park here on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hi, Frank.
How you doing? It seems like Donald's going to need evidence for the appeal. Why doesn't he put his buildings up for sale and go to work with those bids and not really sell them? But you've got rich Saudis and Russian oligarchs and Chinese billionaires that would love to have Trump Towers.
Yeah, I think Letitia James wants that Trump Tower to herself. Man, the way she's foaming at the mouth, she's so excited. Like, this is her biggest moment.
Yeah.
And in her little circles with her girlfriend, they're texting. They're,
of course.
This is just, you're our hero. I got him. Yeah. Well, guess what? You didn't get him. All right, Mike in Hammond, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys.
Hey.
Amy, I don't think Trump they ever accused him of rape. The woman said that it was some kind of sexual assault or sexual.
No, it's sexual abuse. Sorry.
Yeah,
and
whatever.
It was a civil trial.
Was
he was never charged criminally. Never charged criminally.
No, it's too late. Well, they even opened up a small window specifically so she could do this.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It was set up from the beginning. And you had a previous caller talk about how the left doesn't care about the Constitution. That's one of the biggest problems we have is there's no penalty for anybody, criminal penalty, which there should be every time our civil rights are violated, whether it's censorship with the government, the FBI doing what they're doing, there should be severe criminal penalty. We're not allowed to do anything. Our Constitution means nothing because they don't care. Like you had said, they don't care. And as far as the New Yorkers go, they deserve what they get. They voted these people in because they ran on getting Trump.
Yep.
So I don't have zero sympathy for the people that live there. They should stay there and wallow in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? Well, you need to call QC Kinetics. Hi, it's Amy Jacobson. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids, cortisone shots, surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain from arthritis or injury? Well, don't let this pain keep you from living your best. QC Kinetics advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility and independence. Walk and run, play and live. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. New locations, folks, in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Call 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955. All right, listen up. This is exciting stuff. Willows Academy, an authentically Catholic all-girls school that supports traditional values, where graduates attend some of the best colleges in the country. And listen to this, John Anthony. Last year's graduating class received more than $8 million in scholarship offers. That's huge. So for nearly 50 years, Willows has partnered with families in the Chicagoland area to educate young women who will change the world. How do they do it? By developing virtue, intellectual clarity, and confidence in students to live by the values that have made America great. With all the pressure on girls from society and social media to conform, Willows offers your daughter a supportive environment that helps her understand and live the balance between authentic freedom and personal responsibility. As a parent, the quality of the education and the values of the school will give you serious peace of mind. So check out Willows Academy. There's an open house on Sunday, March 3rd at 1 p.m. Register online at willowsacademy.org. Again, it's open for girls in 6th through 12th grade. It's a wonderful location. It's a wonderful school. I've been there twice, and They have a beautiful setup.
Yeah.
They have wonderful gym facilities because you know me, I'm always like, ooh, what's going on?
Volleyball.
But the teachers are great, and the girls are having fun. They're attentive. I spoke in front of the girls twice in their journalism school or their journalism class. And really, if I had a daughter, I would seriously consider sending her to Willows Academy. So that open house is Sunday, March 3rd, 1 p.m. Register at willowsacademy.org, willowsacademy.org.
There are some times when the kids go to bed and we just stay in the night talking about how hard the life it is for us. It's very hard to see my kids go to bed with hunger and not having something to give to them.
You can step into the despair of a mother like Lourdes. For the past 40 years, Food for the Poor has linked generous listeners like you to desperate families throughout the Caribbean and Latin America. Today, your generous gift is an answer to a mother's prayer for her children's survival. Right now, because of a Meal for Meal match, a one-time gift of $160 or just $14 a month provides 4 hungry children with food for the next year. So, how many children can you rescue? Make your gift safely and easily by clicking the red Give Life banner at 560theanswer.com. Again, make your best gift by clicking the red Give Life banner at 560theanswer.com.
Hey, business owners, are you wondering how to grow your business? Do you need cash flow and a ready source for financing? Well, Signature Bank can help. Hi, Mike Gallagher here to let you know that Signature Bank's loan decisions are made locally by a team who knows your name, cares about your business, and is invested in your success. When you need advice about your business or even have a question, Signature Bank is there to help. There are no handoffs or call centers. This is a team that wants to get to know you and your business. That's why Signature Bank in Chicago is my bank. That's right. I'm a customer. When I call, someone picks up the phone on the other end. And with Signature Bank, I can securely bank anywhere, anytime. Reach out to my friends at Signature Bank. Call 773-467-5630. That's 773-467-5630. Or visit them online at signaturebank.bank. Signaturebank.bank. Your business could be Signature Bank's next success story. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, meet a candidate for the 11th District. We'll introduce you to someone who wants to take on Bill Foster. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and John, good morning. Good morning, everyone. At 6:30, Israeli police say 3 gunmen opened fire on the road near a checkpoint in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, killing 1 Israeli and wounding 5. 2 of the attackers were killed. A major U.S. airline is resuming its direct flights to Tel Aviv.
United Airlines plans to resume some direct U.S. flights to Israel next month. It'll be the first U.S. airline to fly again since the October 7th attack by Hamas militants on southern Israel. United will resume flights from Newark Liberty Airport to Tel Aviv March 6th. It will also fly from Newark to Tel Aviv with a stop in Munich starting March 2nd. It doesn't plan to restart flights from other U.S. cities until at least the fall. United says it will continue to monitor the situation in Tel Aviv and adjust the schedule as warranted. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
Members of the GOP accused President Biden's brother, James, of lying during their interview yesterday about his foreign business affairs. South Carolina Congressman Russell Fry.
If your lips are moving, you're lying, and that seemed to be kind of one of my biggest takeaway from what happened yesterday.
The White House has denied any connection, citing a lack of evidence. Lawmakers are expected to interview Hunter Biden later this month. Meantime, the Hunter Biden laptop hearing in Delaware's Superior Court is set to begin today. Chicago's Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from schools. The issue will be front and center around 10:30 this morning when the board goes into public session. If officers are removed, it would impact 39 high schools, removing a total of 57 officers. A flight bound for Los Angeles was diverted to O'Hare after a reported bomb threat. United Airlines Flight 1533 took off from Newark when mid-flight an attendant noticed a threat written on a bathroom in the plane. The plane was met by law enforcement around 8 a.m. yesterday. It's unclear if anyone was taken into custody. The man charged with killing 7 and injuring dozens more at the 4th of July parade in Highland Park in 2022 will stand trial in February 2025. Robert Cremo III was charged with 21 counts of first-degree murder. Governor J.B. Pritzker is calling for the elimination of the state's 1% grocery tax, calling it regressive, something that Illinois families don't need. It's part of his $52.7 billion budget plan rolled out yesterday, including more than $181 million to tackle the state's illegal migrant crisis. State Senator Terry Bryan says that migrant funding could be better used elsewhere.
We know for sure that there's going to be new budget money that will go to the welcome centers, all while our people, our citizens here, are trying to figure out how they're going to pay for eggs and groceries.
Meantime, Chicago officials are closing 4 city shelters as the number of migrants arriving in the city slows down. Those facilities are in the Loop, North Lawndale, Lakeview, and North Park neighborhoods. Blackhawks lost to the Flyers 3-1. Number 12 Fighting Illini in Big Ten hoops knocked off by unranked Penn State 90-89. Coleman Hawkins fouled Zach Hicks on a 3-point attempt at the buzzer, and Hicks hit all 3 free throws to give Penn State the win. The News is a service of McGrath Lexus in Westmont and Chicago. Experience the next level of excellence at McGrath Lexus in nearby Westmont and downtown Chicago. When you do the math, you choose McGrath. Visit new and pre-owned inventory online at McGrathLexus.com. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Isn't the nominee.
We are in big, big trouble. The man is, and I'm sorry, it's unfortunate. It happens. I respect our seniors. I want Biden to live to be 100. He doesn't have 4 years in him, and you know it. What's this guy going to be like in 2026, 2027? He's not going to be the nominee.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-353-2973 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-353-2973. That's 800-353-2973. What do you have to lose? Call 800-353-2973. Again, 800-353-2973.
Looking to give your home a one-of-a-kind makeover? It's time to think outside the box with Forever Remodeling. We're highly skilled to design and build kitchens, bathrooms, and basements using state-of-the-art 3D design software, customer communication software, and a dedicated project manager throughout your project. With Forever Remodeling, imagine a kitchen that's an extension of your personality, a bathroom that's a spa-like sanctuary, and a basement that's a canvas for your dreams. Reach out to us at 847-809-3355 or visit foreverremodeling.com.
Pluto TV won't cost you a thing because everything is free. Just download the app, which, by the way, is free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
6:36. Let's check the roads. We do that, of course, in our Team Hochberg Traffic Center. And this update is a service of Robert Half. Robert Half research indicates about 9 of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting pros use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today. Kennedy right now at 25, O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Watching the Stevenson develop heavy and slow traffic. Brake lights flashing Harlem to Kedzie on the inbound side. 45 in from I-355. Bishop Ford and I-57 jamming into the Ryan merge. Tri-State already very busy this morning northbound right at the Reagan I-88. I-80 has an accident right shoulder eastbound near I-57. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Morning showers, followed by clouds in the midday and a bit of sun in the afternoon, a high of 57. Currently 45. Your next news update is at 7, and Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
All right, welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft. And
hey, thank you. I'm just coaching them how to make sure
I know,
you speak
we
to
have
the
a
mic.
house guest because
Yeah.
we normally don't have people in the studio. We love to have it, so I
Yeah.
call anybody who comes through that door a house guest.
Yeah, I have them in the studio a lot, all the time.
Yeah, so your show this Saturday,
4 to
from
7.
4 to 7,
Yes.
is going to be featuring what?
Actually,
Give it a little tease.
Actually, we're going to be doing a 11 congressional district debate on the first hour with the doctor we have in the studio,
Dr. Kent
Yeah.
Mercado, and the other two
I didn't
candidates.
want to say his name. That's
Well, I am.
I
And then
know.
who are the other two running against him that you
So
have in?
Susan Altman,
Mhm.
Susan Hathaway Altman, and Jerry Davis.
All right.
So they'll be joining me live in studio Saturday.
Okay, Dr. Mercado, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. What a
And the
pleasure.
first question always is, why are you running?
No, I'm running. I'm a doctor, a lawyer, a humanitarian. I'm a father and a husband, and I wanted to have a bigger impact. I do a lot of different things when it comes to natural disaster relief. I was in, I got 1,000 hospital beds for Haiti, and pardon me, for Katrina, did amputations in Haiti, and I've also got $10 million worth of supplies for Pakistan when they had their flood relief. What I'm trying to do is being able to have a bigger impact and to help more people. I'm running as a center person, and it's funny because a lot of times people thought I was a Democrat because I do so many do-gooder things. I'm like, no, you don't understand.
I know people don't realize that Republicans
It's
are very
Republican.
philanthropic.
Absolutely.
And that's
absolutely.
a whole
No, the Democrats just
group
have
that they ignore.
right. The Democrats will go ahead and say, well, we need government funding for this. The Republicans will actually do it.
Exactly. I hear you. So how has your district been impacted, though, by the migrant crisis at all? And again, we're talking about the 11th district. Bill Foster's currently the congressman there. Has the migrant crisis affected your district?
It's beginning to. What they're doing is that they're doing a lot of buses and drop-offs. I know when I was in, I believe it was Huntley, and they dropped off a group of people. By the time I got there, I was in Huntley, 2 minutes away. They had already put them back onto the train.
Oh my! That
And
quickly?
that quickly.
Like that.
That it only took me 5 minutes to get there.
But are you a shut down the border type of guy?
Absolutely. If you think about it, it's just like when people have, oh my goodness, my tub is overflowing. So they're going ahead and they're taking little cups and they're putting into the sink, trying to do that. Anybody ever think about turning off the faucet?
That would be
Yeah, that would be a good thing. That'd be a nice start.
But I
That'd be a
keep
nice
hearing
start.
that Biden's going to have a reset
Yeah.
right before the State of the Union in March. The first week, I think it's March 4th, is his State of the Union, and that's when he's going to sign an executive order and finally stop the flow of immigrants. Because that issue, but it's been 3 years of filling up this country with people who are going to vote Democratic,
Right.
and that's the thing. So
Well,
it's hard to.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about they wanted to limit one of the bills that they were passing. They wanted to limit it to 5,000 people a day. I just did my math, and I think that's 1.8 million people. I think that would make it the fourth largest city in the United States.
Gosh, that's crazy. John, do you have any?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at the map of the district. It went from 5 counties to now 8 counties, and it's
Mhm.
now a more rural area.
Can you walk us through the district? Like how far
so,
north, east,
So it used
west?
to be Kane County, DuPage, Kendall, Will, which I used to live in the 11th in Kendall County. And now it's Boone, McHenry, DeKalb, Lake County, Kane County, Will. And they've added a little bit more of Cook County into that district. I wonder why. Must be a large influx of Democrat voters there, huh?
Of course, it's just the idea of gerrymandering. I mean, I know Governor Jerry in Massachusetts made a salamander district, but this is ludicrous.
Yeah.
The way that they do that. If you take a look at St. Charles, it's in that St. Charles Township has 3 different congressional districts
Wow.
that run through that. They did that on purpose because they divided something that is pretty conservative, and they just moved it out. The new section, all of the Boone County and McHenry and DeKalb, and a little bit of Lake, that part is about an R10. That part's good, but it's only 45% of the district.
Oh, there it is.
So that's how.
So it went from a D plus 13 to a D plus 5 now.
Because you have about D10 in the other 55.
And what that means is the average amount of victory.
Okay.
It was a 13-point victory.
Correct.
Bill Foster had against Catalina Loft, but now based upon the drafting of the new map, now they're saying it's a D plus 5 district. He's looking to win by 5.
He's looking to win by 5, and I've been focusing a lot of my efforts on Naperville and Aurora and Downers Grove and a lot of those areas to get my.
What's your message? Because when you look at it, you have a lot now. I mean, these are the big collar counties. This is why the Illinois Republican Party has languished. What has been your message that those? Because I heard the ad on the air, the kitchen table issues that people are responding to from your campaign.
Well, that's what it is. I've talked to thousands of people, and they want to go ahead and focus on the economy. They want to go ahead and bring back jobs. They want to go ahead and lower inflation. They want to go ahead and work on cost of living, infrastructure. Safety is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Educational access, particularly in many of the different communities. There's a lot of new generation, either Chinese or Indian or Pakistan, where education is the absolute number one issue for them.
Amy, did you hear what was missing?
What?
That he didn't say property tax, although that's one of the highest property taxes as
Property
it relates
tax
property,
area,
property
yes.
tax area in the state. He didn't mention that. You know why? Because when you look at the state of Illinois, that's been something that Republicans have talked about for eons. But what has happened? Have you seen any change? Have you seen, if anything, the Republicans have dwindled because people pay lip service to that. They know that they're paying a lot of property taxes. And what I found when I was running, property taxes, yeah, people are paying a lot, but it's not more important than the education. It's not more important than the safety. And Republicans haven't shifted their message.
Yesterday a woman got robbed in Hinsdale.
Yeah.
Did you see that? She
Yeah.
was filling up her car with gas. She left the car running, doors open, not open, but unlocked. And a guy came around and just took off, and there she was, left stranded. So what are you hearing from undecided suburban female voters?
That's been one of my biggest focuses. One of the things that I'm doing is that I'm regarding abortion, which is a big hot topic issue. That's after Dobbs. It is a state issue, and I'm not doing anything regarding any state any federal laws, and it's a state issue.
Right.
So there's no federal actions.
There's
or
no
intervention
federal
needed?
actions that I'm going to do. Absolutely not.
So the
and
Lindsey
that,
Graham 15-week heartbeat bill?
Nope. And that's something that is works very well within the suburban women group.
Well, what about Ukraine? So let's move over there. Should the United States provide Ukraine with money in its fight against Russia?
No, only old equipment.
Old equipment?
Old equipment.
Okay.
Well, because there's no accountability. I mean, right now, every time you look at it, anytime you ask for somebody to go ahead and do a review, oh no. You can't keep on giving somebody money. When you own your own business, I know you do. If you go to the bank to get some money, you have to have a business plan. You have to have that. Then they go ahead and they check on it to make sure you're going ahead and following all the rules and things like that. There's no There's no measurements with that.
What about Israel? Should the U.S. provide Israel with money to fight against Hamas?
No, just again, same thing. It's just equipment. Israel's doing fine financially.
You don't think they need our help?
They're going to. I mean, I think that I think that they're fine, but I do support them completely.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you with Donald Trump? Are you supportive of the Republican nominee who's eventually going to be Donald Trump?
Of course.
100% behind him. There you go. MAGA all the way.
No, I'm actually not MAGA, but I do support his policies.
Well, what does that mean to be MAGA? Because I keep saying MAGA Republicans. Like, no, I voted for Trump. Am I MAGA?
Yeah,
what makes somebody MAGA?
It's just a
I'm just asking.
It's just a caricature that the left has created to demonize a certain people. And if anything, it's more of the agenda of America first. At least that's what I stand with.
Okay.
I stand with the agenda of America first. Now MAGA. What is MAGA? Make America Great Again. You got to admit, when Trump was running for office, America was in dire straits. He said, you know what? He took the message of was it Ronald Reagan, and made America great again. You can't. That is undeniable.
Well, it absolutely is. I mean, you just brought up Reagan.
Yeah.
Are you better off 4 years?
That's right.
Than you were 4 years ago? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. I mean, you could say 3 years. I get it, but the whole concept is that you are not better off in almost any capacity that you can look at. It's $11,000 more per family in the last 3 years. Now inflation has come down magically, a coincidence.
A little.
Because of that. But you've already got 25% interest or 20,
Right.
whatever the amount is. I mean, it's just ludicrous. I went and we're almost empty nesters, and I went just to get things. I bought 2 bags of groceries for my wife and I, $68. 2 plastic bags.
I know, and probably no alcohol or dog
No,
food or cat food in there.
No meat, no alcohol.
No meat, yep.
No eggs.
Eggs. It would have been 60.
Yeah.
I mean, 100. Yeah.
No, I know it's just a mind scratcher. Boxes of cereal are about.
yes, you-
They're so, I know I'm all in
Get
my
cereal.
boxes. I want to move from Goldfish to boxes of cereal. Like $11.99.
I saw that.
$12 for
Bacon.
a box of Cocoa Puffs.
Bacon. I'm the biggest connoisseur of bacon. I love
And bacon is so
the price of
expensive.
bacon today, from what I was paying for it. Are you freaking kidding me?
What I do is I drive to Northwest Indiana, and I actually buy boxes of cereals for Quinn's son Emmett, and maybe for Quinn too. But you go to the Walmart in Hammond, and it's like $3.99 for the, and you're buying the same thing, and that's a mega box, and you're buying a smaller version for $11.99.
Yeah.
Oh, my
in
word.
Chicago, so it's or even in Illinois, you don't have to be in Chicago. All right, so the last topic I want to get on real quick: should there be a law requiring background checks on all gun sales?
I believe there should be. There should be, but it has to be a very logical one where you're going to head and do that. It's a universal background check where you share the information. There was a mass murder that was created in because they didn't have a fellow who was dishonorably discharged for having mental issues. And if they would have just checked that would have saved.
I know. There's so many cases where they've slipped through the
They've
cracks.
slipped through the
So
cracks.
frustrating.
Now, see, I'm a absolutist when it comes to the Second Amendment. I don't think there should be any infringement.
Oh, I do.
I
on the Second Amendment.
understand
No,
that.
Here's my question. Because when you look at the last 7, 8 mass shooters, they've all been from the trans community. They've all been people that have been on the FBI's so-called watch list. I think the laws are already there to stop a lot of the things that we that are happening in this country. We just don't have people who, because remember, we had a Chicago mayor who famously said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste."
No.
This is what they believe in.
No, I understand that. I want to enforce the current laws that we have. That's and just make sure that there's sharing of information. I don't really want to have. First of all, how many laws on that? I talked to Pat, who's the state's attorney in McHenry County, and I said, how many violent crimes were committed by somebody with their own registered gun so far this year? Actually, this was in November. It was 0.
Yeah.
It was 0.
Yeah.
Most of the laws that they're trying to do absolutely do not help what
No, they go after the good guy.
They go after the good guy. So I'm working with a bunch of people. There's a guy named Lombardo. I'm working with some people.
Dave.
So I'm working with Dave. I'm working with a few other people to find legislation that will actually work. Because right now I'm not seeing it. Even gun clips or banana clips. All you have to do
I got legislation. Here's the gist of the bill. Follow the current law. Boom, in the bill. In the bill.
Enforce it.
In the bill.
In the bill.
That's the bill. You get all the congressmen, all the senators to vote for it. I personally don't think we need any other new legislation as it relates to the Second Amendment. I'm a stickler on that. I'm for open. I'm an open carry kind of guy. I believe if I want to go buy a bazooka, I should be able to go buy a bazooka. Because when you look at what's happening with the invasion at our borders, I see it, concealed carry. When you look at the invasion that's happening at our borders, our government is trying to take away our ability to defend ourselves, and yet we are allowing all these people. I mean, I saw a video, Syrians, Iranians,
we're gonna be
Yemen,
playing that.
Houthis,
China, Syria, Georgia, Turkey.
Yeah.
They're all coming in California. Now.
Yes.
Because
yes, and you wanna take away my ability to defend myself from, guess what? Them and you, the government. Yes, I said it. The government. I said that. You know what? I just gotta say something real quickly. When you look at, I'm not talking to you, doctor. When you look at how a lot of the founding fathers spoke about independence and freedom. They've shut us down as individuals with the ability to speak as they spoke. You know, I just gave a speech the other day in LaSalle, and I said people forget about the Tree of Liberty. That's all I'll say. But the Tree of Liberty needing to be refreshed. We can't have those type of conversations today. They want to shut us down and quiet us because now we're insurrectionists. No, we want to keep you, the government. And this is how our founding founders looked at the system of government, the republic, not a democracy. I want the death of democracy. I want to see the republic rise again. Is that where you're at?
Absolutely. One of the things when it comes to guns and all the new rules that they're coming in, particularly the Safety Act and some of the other things about registration, I inherited a very large military gun collection from my father. I'm very fortunate that I have property in Wisconsin so that I do not have to register like a sex offender.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's humiliating. All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Kent Mercado, surgeon, attorney, father, and congressional candidate for the 11th District. How can people get more information about your campaign?
ElectDrKent.com.
Elect Dr. Kent.
Dr. Kent.
Dr. Kent.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I've been a clinical psychologist since 1991. I was licensed, and I love being a clinical psychologist because I like helping people. I tell people that Balance of Nature is a wonderful supplement because I truly trust in the product. I feel great, and because I feel great, I'm able to do everything that I want to do. I really love taking Balance of Nature.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Dr. Kent Mercado, and I'm running for Congress in the 11th District. I'm a physician, attorney, humanitarian, father, and husband. And I have had the privilege of speaking with several thousand residents, and I've heard your concerns. And they are kitchen table issues: the economy, education, safety, and secure borders, access to quality and affordable physical and mental health care. I'm here to be your voice. Please vote for Dr. Kent Mercado for Congress on March 19th in the Republican primary.
This message was paid for and approved by Dr. Kent Mercado for Congress.
Are you looking for fair news coverage out of the nation's capital? Join the Center Square's editor-in-chief Dan McCaleb and DC Bureau Chief Casey Harper as they discuss all things coming out of Washington, D.C.
And as you said, I did a fact check on this because I really found it pretty misleading. Gas prices, yes, are down. But if you look at food prices, they increased.
No spin, just the news. Listen to the America in Focus podcast at americastalking.com or wherever you get your podcast.
This holiday season, did you visit your crawl space to retrieve the Christmas tree and decorations? Are you one who wouldn't venture down there on a bet? Hi, I'm Roy Spencer from Permaseal, and if you're one of the latter, I can't blame you. We've seen some pretty nasty crawl spaces full of mold, mildew, and crawly things. Certainly not a place to store your family treasures. Well, this year, let Permaseal wrap your crawl space up in our Clean Space encapsulation system. CleanSpace will transform your dirty, dark crawl space into a bright, clean, valuable storage area where you can confidently store even your most treasured ornaments and mementos. As a bonus, you'll find you'll have warmer floors and cleaner air upstairs. What a wonderful holiday present for the entire family and a great investment in your home. For a free inspection and estimate, call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325 or visit permaseal.net.
Best for being better, Permaseal.
I'm Seth Leibson of 960thepatriot.com for townhall.com. It is insulting to banana republics when we compare them to our nation's use of the courts to silence and stop Donald Trump. Banana republics of yore had a shame about it. They did their cloak and dagger work in the dark, as quietly as possible. They didn't parade and strut the way our judges and prosecutors do as they indict and try Donald Trump at federal and local levels. No, what we are seeing in the lawfare against Donald Trump to obtain what cannot be won at the ballot box, namely his defeat, is Putinism. Vladimir Putin struts and parades his use of the apparatuses of government to silence and retribute against his political foes. He has no shame about it. He sees the publicity of it as a tool and message. Come against me politically, face state-sanctioned punishment. For those who denounce Putin, wake up. The rapidity of it all is different here. The ends, and increasingly the means, are not. I'm Seth Leibson.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, why Biden can't afford to lose a single Pennsylvania voter. We'll start there with Selena Zito. And control your dog? Wait until you hear the real story behind Commander, Biden's dog, and how many Secret Service agents he bit. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
This morning, a Southside apartment fire leaves 7 injured, including a young child. A bomb threat written on a plane diverted to O'Hare. Teens charged with murder in the Senn High School shooting, and 4 Chicago migrant shelters will be closed this week. Blackhawks lose to the Flyers. Illinois gets upset by Penn State. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Will President Biden implement Trump-like border policies? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He is considering taking executive actions that could put stricter rules on asylum seekers, preventing many migrants who enter the U.S. illegally from staying. But Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports.
This is not something the White House has confirmed. A White House spokesman telling Fox News no executive action, no matter how aggressive, can deliver the significant policy reforms and additional resources Congress can provide and that Republicans rejected. And recall last month, President Biden said he can't do anything more to fix the border, where more than 7 million migrants have entered the United States under Biden's watch.
President Biden is out west, focused on his reelection, and he said something Russia is not happy about.
It was at a fundraising event in California on Wednesday when President Biden called his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin a crazy SOB. He was talking about the threat of nuclear war. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says it appeared President Biden was trying to look like a Hollywood cowboy.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The war in Gaza spills over to the West Bank again. A shooting has left 1 person dead, 11 injured. Fox's Trey Ingst reports from Tel Aviv.
3 Palestinian gunmen opened fire on a line of cars at a checkpoint, and we understand a 23-year-old Israeli reservist who had just finished serving in Gaza engaged the shooters, killing 2 of them. A third was later tracked down.
Iran-backed Houthi militants hit another ship with missiles near the Red Sea, a British-owned cargo vessel that caught fire. A lot of Americans are having a hard time communicating this morning. A big cell service outage affecting AT&T customers mostly.
Local reports say AT&T is now coming back online in some places, saying this is the carrier's 2nd major outage within a week. A current outage map on downdetector.com shows this is impacting folks in multiple places: Indiana, Atlanta, Chicago, L.A., Houston, San Francisco, so all over the country.
That's Jerry Willis. America's listening to Fox News.
45 degrees in Chicago at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago's Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from schools. The issue front and center beginning at 10:30 this morning when the board goes into public session. A second Chicago apartment fire in as many days sent 7 to the hospital. Among the injured along the South Shore neighborhood at 71st and Jeffrey was an infant, listed this morning in critical condition at Comer Children's Hospital. Dollar stores throughout the city are under heavy new regulations after a city council vote. More than 3,000 city code violations have been racked up among nearly 150 Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Family Dollar stores, most owned by the same corporate parent. With that, the council overwhelmingly passed the Small Box Retailer Ordinance. Lead author Alderman Matt O'Shea.
Drive past any one of those 149 stores today, and you'll likely see overflowing dumpsters, broken fences, broken exterior lights.
The new measure prohibits stores from opening within 1 mile of each other and was passed over the opposition of Illinois retail merchants. Governor J.B. Pritzker is calling for the elimination of the state's 1% tax on groceries.
Folks are still feeling the squeeze every week at the grocery store. So there's one more thing that we ought to do. For the good of our state's working families, let's permanently eliminate the grocery tax.
Pritzker outlined his proposal for the state budget in his annual State of the State address yesterday and also called for the elimination of some medical debt.
I propose that over the next 4 years, we eliminate $4 billion of medical debt for over 1 million Illinoisans.
His budget plan, which totals $52.7 billion, includes $181 million to tackle the state's migrant crisis. Residents of LaPorte County in Indiana expressing some major worries over a proposed 2,600-acre solar farm in Kankakee Township. Residents, however, say the negatives, including the loss of farmland, are more important than any green energy boost. Blackhawks lost to the Flyers 3-1. Bulls tip off the second half against the Celtics tonight. Big Ten hoops, number 12 Fighting Illini knocked off by unranked Penn State in Happy Valley, 90-89. The news, a service of Dan and Amy 24/7 around the clock, all day, every day. Listen now, danandamy247.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher doesn't see an end.
22 Republicans joined Democrats in sending billions more to Ukraine. That's right, 22 Republican senators evidently want to embark on what I think is a fool's errand. And that is the idea that there's any end game in sight for Russia and Ukraine. Because you know what? There's not. There is simply not.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
After 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation promised to make sure that we never forget, and since then they have been supporting American heroes and their families, heroes like U.S. Army Specialist Michael Hook. He was killed in Iraq, and Hook left behind a pregnant fiancée who gave birth to a son that he would never meet. Tunnel to Towers stepped up. They paid off the mortgage on their home. Donate $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org. The letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm here in San Diego. I mean, I surf, I'm active, I'm an ex-college athlete. Well, I decided, I'm going to try that Balance of Nature. Let's just see what happens. Like after about a month and a half, man, what a difference. That sold me right there. That's when I was like, this stuff's working, so I'm going to stick with it. And so I've been sticking with it ever since. And it's definitely helped, and I definitely feel good. Seems like to be the real deal.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Is your old basement dragging you back in time? It's time to break free and embrace the future with Forever Remodeling. Whether you're yearning for a cozy family haven, a home office, the ultimate game night arena, or even a stunning new basement bathroom, Forever Remodeling has you covered. Don't let your basement linger in the past. Make it unforgettable. Contact Forever Remodeling today at 847-809-3355 or visit us online at foreverremodeling.com. We're your partners in crafting extraordinary stress-free basements.
7:08. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. Building delays on the Edens. Your stop and go inbound Cicero to the junction, 18 minutes from Lake Cook Road. Kennedy 33 O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Accident reported on the inbound Ike between Manheim and Keeler. 33 minutes from Manheim into the old post office and climbing. Inbound Dan Ryan, not too bad. 25 right now, 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. I-57, though, two left lanes are blocked. Stop and go traffic from the CalSag Channel approaching 115th with an accident reported there. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
A stray shower to start things off this morning. Clouds will give way to some sun later on. The high today, 57. Clear tonight, though, 35. And then a mix of clouds and sun. Breezy. Some flurries tomorrow afternoon and evening. High tomorrow at 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
45 at O'Hare, 50 at Midway, and 45 along the lakefront. Your next news update, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Monday morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft.
Hey.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always
Those first 2 hours
fun.
flew by.
Flies by when you're having fun. All right, so President, I was going to call him President Biden. President Trump, former President Trump. Did you watch the town hall with him and Laura
I did.
Ingraham?
I thought that was one of the best town halls he's done in a very long time.
Yeah, he's maturing.
He was fresh.
And I love what he said about how we'll know he succeeded.
But the question about score settling, a lot of women, women voters, they don't like the name calling, they don't like the score settling. They love your policies, and they just want Trump's policies, maybe not so much of the other stuff. So I think that's what the question, if you don't mind my asking, I think that's what she's getting.
Well, but also you want to say, how do you get together? We're going to get together through success. When the country was at a level that we had the best employment numbers in history, everything was good. And this country was coming together. Then we got hit with COVID, but this country came together. I don't care about the revenge thing. I know they usually use the word revenge. Will there be revenge? My revenge will be success.
That was a wonderful moment, don't you think?
It was.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, he sounds. I don't know. I don't know if he's taken to the coaching that they're giving him, but I mean. Remember, Trump would have run off and said all type of stuff.
Oh, remember when he would rip on Carly Fiorelli, and then he'd change, different people.
Yes.
Talk about Megyn Kelly and blood coming out of her eyes, and who else knows where else. I mean, all that stuff put behind us.
Yeah.
And think of the policies. But the person is getting better. With more on that, let's welcome back to the program Zelina Zito, our good friend, national political reporter, and author of The Great Revolt: Inside the Populist Coalition, Reshaping American Politics. And you can check out all of her articles at selinazito.com. Good morning, Selena. How are you?
Good morning. I'm swell. How are you guys?
Good. So you wrote a number of articles, but I wanted to start with Biden's Friday afternoon visit to East Palestine, Ohio. And was anything accomplished by that?
Oh, no. I don't think it was a very good moment for Biden to come to East Palestine. He was definitely a year too late, 6 months late, 3 months late. He didn't offer declare a state of emergency, so that doesn't free up funds. And he railed against the railroad instead of, look, these people here, my great-grandfather was born and raised in East Palestine. These people want aspiration. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves. They also want answers. They were hopeful for funding for baseline testing that was offered by Senator J.D. Vance to the White House, baseline testing of their health so their health can be monitored over the next few years so that you don't get to a Camp Lejeune type settlement 40 years later. And they received none of that. So it was a hollow visit.
And then here's a reaction from an East Palestine resident.
He has not helped us. He's too little too late.
Do you want the federal government to step in?
At this point, I'll take anything. We're crying for somebody to help us to either get us out of the situation or go back and clean this properly.
I mean, how many people have moved out of that town? Are there still a sizable population?
I mean, there's still a sizable population. You can't move out because you can't sell your house.
Wow.
So they're really kind of trapped there. There are some people that just have left, and that's not good either. And I think it's important to point out East Palestine before the train derailment was not one of those down on their knees Appalachian towns. This is a thriving village. They have good work jobs available all around the village. The main street is prosperous. There wasn't boarded up buildings. The houses are neat and tidy. So it's not as though it was a scar upon a scar. This was a fresh wound to people who have, for generations, been very proud to be from East Palestine.
And you said your great-grandfather's from there?
He was. He even ran for state representative as a free silver during the 1896 presidential election with William Jennings Bryan and William McKinley.
Wow.
He got 12 votes. So
wait, how many votes did he get?
12.
Oh, well, it's better than 1 or 2, right?
Right. He went on to be the mayor of a neighboring town for 50 years. So I think he did all right.
Yeah, he did. What was his line of work? Or was he just then became a professional politician?
He was a coal miner.
Oh,
wow.
That dying industry. Remember when Obama was going to put them in the tech industry or coding?
Yes.
How did that work out, Selena?
Not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
You ever been in a coal mine?
Have I been in a coal mine? No, I
have. It's spooky and scary. It sounds like the bowels of hell are.
Have you been in a coal mine?
Twice.
In Illinois?
Yeah, in Illinois. It's scary.
People forget that we have coal miners.
Down south.
Down south in Illinois. Yeah. So what's it like down there, Selena?
Oh, well, it depends on what kind of mine you go down.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go down an elevator like 1,500 feet and you go into the mine, all the walls are painted white.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not that sort of feeling of doom and dark, and you take it's called a man car.
Mm-hmm.
I drove on a man car for almost 8 miles across 3 states underground. Wow. Now you climb into a coal mine or you walk into a coal mine. That's very different.
Yeah.
And that's you have to have a certain fortitude to do something like that.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was in there, I just kept thinking, what if these walls just collapse right now? That's all I kept thinking. That's all I kept thinking. But what's happening in Pennsylvania? You wrote an article with Middle America's Dying Hard, and we're talking about coal miners. What's happening with what's happening with the union people over there and Joe Biden, because he's losing a lot of them, right?
Yeah. So Biden is the Middle America Dying Hard story was a story about Weirton, West Virginia, which is right, if you know anything about the geography, it's like right there with Pennsylvania and Ohio. Like
yes.
People that worked at the plant lived in all 3 states. And at one time it employed 15,000. The last 900 people lost their job last week.
Wow.
It all had to do with a trade decision made in D.C. that did not level the playing field between between China and Mexico and American steel products, and they cost more to make here because of the labor cost, but also because of regulation. We have a lot of stringent regulations, and so they just shut it down, and that's the end. And I think that people need to understand when a big business like that closes, it's not just 900 people that lost their jobs. It's the people that make the widgets for the steel mill. It's the people that supply the uniforms and the tools. It's also the barbershops and beauty salons and mom and pop shops and motels and hotels and everything, the school districts.
Yep.
So these kinds of things really create a shift in politics away from who the voter believes is at fault for ignoring them.
So true.
Well, now you also wrote an article at selinazito.com about a man named Mark Rayfield, who's a Northeast Pennsylvania native. Tell us about him.
So I wrote a story entitled Biden Cannot Afford to Lose One Vote in Pennsylvania, and it's very true. He narrowly won this state by, I think it was 60,000 votes. It's somewhere around there. And so he's already having problems with the black vote. He earned 92% of the black vote in 2020. In the latest polling done in Pennsylvania, it's down to 59%. That in it on itself is enough to lose the state, let alone the problems he's having with the far left. And then there's voters that I don't think he saw coming that are leaving, and that's the Mark Rayfields of the world. This is a suburban Philadelphia, highly successful Democrat all of his life, who's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not going to vote for Trump, but I'm also not voting for Biden.
So are they just going to sit this election out?
Well, they might go third party. Of course, if you read the
Kennedy.
story, Mark is really hopeful that there's some Hollywood dramatic moment at the convention and that someone else is picked. And that might happen. We certainly are in a crazy year.
Yeah. Robert Kennedy.
We've been in a crazy year since 2012.
Is Robert Kennedy on the ballot in Pennsylvania?
I believe he will be, yes.
Oh.
So
There's
but
a
this
spoiler.
guy, Mark Rayfield, he voted for Biden in 2020. He voted for John Fetterman, which I just, after seeing that debate with Dr. Oz, that still befuddles me that people voted for him. But 1 million people had cast their vote before that debate happened with early voting.
Right, correct.
So
Yes,
is anybody making sure that the integrity of the election there in Pennsylvania is going to be sound?
The problem with the election here in Pennsylvania wasn't in 2020, wasn't the integrity. That was pretty sound.
Okay.
The problem was they kept changing the rules during COVID and extending mail-in voting. So that created an untrustworthiness to the system by a lot of voters. And so that is what they're locking down now, so that there's no changes made. Those kinds of things cause people not to trust the system. Yeah. And they've been working hard in the legislature to make sure that is not the case ever again.
And Selena, my good friend is he's a former state rep, Mike Piskaric. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yep.
I had a conversation with him about 2 weeks ago. I mean, he has some bombshell information that I believe if it ever, I mean, he wants to talk about how we can go and release basically what she's saying, how they changed the rules, and Republicans did absolutely nothing
In Pennsylvania?
There's no backbone whatsoever, and he would know. He was there serving in the legislative body as a state rep.
Well, give me some details.
Yeah, well, we can't just yet, but he and I are going to go live and talk about it coming up.
Wow, that'll be not this Saturday,
not this week, not
but
this
the
Saturday.
following
No,
Saturday.
correct.
Well, you have
It's
to
gonna
give
be a
Selena
bombshell.
Zito a heads up so
That's
she
right.
can listen to the conversation. But here in Illinois, Selena, so in Illinois, they count ballots, mail-in ballots 2 weeks after Election Day.
2 weeks, a month.
A month?
No, I'm
No,
just kidding.
it's
I'm
2
kidding.
weeks. I mean, that's our state law. Is there anything crazy like that in Pennsylvania or Ohio?
I forget how it is extended. That was part of the problem. See, the problem for the state legislature in Pennsylvania was not that they didn't have the power. They did. They were the majority. However, there was a Democratic governor, there was a Democratic attorney general, and there also was a Democratic state Supreme Court, which cut off absolutely everything they tried to do to stop it.
Yeah.
So that was the big challenge in 2020.
All right, Selena Zito. You can read all of her columns at selenazito.com, and the ones that we were mentioning, Middle America is Dying. She wrote for the WashingtonExaminer.com. Selena, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. There's birds chirping in the background. I can hear it. Sounds so tranquil. And Selena joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
All right. Do you have chronic pain due to an injury or maybe arthritis? You know, pain in your hip, your knee, your back, your hip. Oh, John Anthony, you're pointing at yourself. Where do you have pain?
Hip surgery. I've had hip surgery.
You had hip surgery?
Yeah.
When?
2013.
Oh, so it was years ago?
Yeah, but it's still, oh, God, it hurts.
So it didn't work?
No, it didn't. I'm going to have a hip replacement.
Well, before you go looking at that hip replacement, you might want to make a free appointment with QC Kinetics.
Uh-oh.
It's regenerative medicine. It's transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. QC Kinetics has advanced state-of-the-art treatments where they harnessed and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damage to joint tissue. So I don't know if they can deal with you if you've already had hip surgery, but it's worth a phone call. The number to call is 312-809-5955. QC Kinetics has helped tens of thousands of patients, and they want to help you. So reclaim your mobility and independence. Walk and play, walk and run, play and live without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful, addictive drugs. And guess what? You don't have to take vacation time to get surgery that might not work anyway. Try it out. Give them a call. 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955.
Cable news. Noisy, out of touch, on repeat. Tired of all the lookalikes? So are we. Salem News Channel is here to change the game. Streaming 24/7, free on your TV, with the greatest collection of conservative voices. Home to Dinesh D'Souza, Andrew Wilkow, Brandon Tatum, and more. Like you, we say what's wrong and what's right. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Salem News Channel. We're the answer to the mainstream media. Learn more at snc.tv.
For armed or unarmed security, average isn't good enough. You deserve more. You need more.
Morrison means more.
Morrison Security. More deterrence and prevention with customized programs that fit your budget. Cost-effective, sensible solutions for all businesses and facilities.
Morrison means more.
More peace of mind, knowing your security guards are well-trained professionals with a track record of getting results and serving exactly your needs. Morrison Security personnel are constantly trained for readiness and are prepared for any given situation that can occur at a job site.
Morrison means more.
More reliability plenty of management for quick and effective solutions at your property. Morrison Security is responsive. They're always available to you.
Morrison means more.
More awareness of any challenges you face with protecting people, property, and assets. For armed and unarmed security, don't settle for substandard or average. Security is too important. Contact them and find out how you can get more. MorrisonSecurity.com. MorrisonSecurity.com.
Morrison means more.
Are we back? Yeah. Hey, I know I can't hear. I got to turn this up. Hold on. All right. Balance of nature. Do it every day. Why? I feel good that I'm doing something for myself and I'm not getting enough fruits and veggies on my own. And that is where balance of nature comes in. 31 whole fruits and vegetables, real food, real nutrition. People who take it are addicted to it. Increased energy. And honestly, I have not gotten sick. And when I felt a cold coming on, I took my mom's advice and she said, double up on your balance of nature. And I swear I feel better, but that's just us. So give your body the best possible fuel because when you do, you'll have more energy. You're stronger. And guess what? You might think more quickly and just feel good that you're doing something for yourself. A lot of people don't have a lot of control over things in this world, but you can control your temple. And you, when you get your bottles of fruits and veggies, they throw in a free fiber and spice.
Correct.
And you love that.
Yeah,
You're not addicted to it, but you do use it all
and
the
I've
time.
given it to a friend who sent me a text saying, "Hey, I've been using it. It's been amazing."
But you put it
My
in
friend
your
Bob.
you make a smoothie, right?
Well, I make a smoothie, or when I use the juicer,
Uh-huh.
I'll put it in there.
Just a
as
cup of
well.
it?
And then put it in the blender to mix it up because it has a unique taste.
Okay.
It has that apple cider vinegar taste.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Dr.
which-
Howard loves apples.
Yeah, I can
And
tell.
you love apples too?
I love apples.
All right. You know what? I should
Good
give
for
that
the
a
gut.
try. It's good for the gut. And
for
everybody
the
can
gut.
use some more fiber in their life. All right. The number to call is 800-246-8751. 800-246-8751. Use discount code Chicago. First timers get 35% off and a bottle of fiber and spice. John Anthony approved. Or you can go online to balanceofnature.com. Discount code Chicago.
AM 560. The Answer.
You haven't given.
Oh, what did you say? Oh, you.
You haven't given a bottle of the other. What do they call?
You mean the fruits and veggies?
The fruits and veggies. You haven't given me a bottle of that.
Well,
in a long. It's been a year. It's been years.
Sister Friend is helping you out with the fruits and spice. I have pledged allegiance to Justin Coast.
Really, Justin?
Justin is giving me the thumbs up. No, Justin,
Help a
seriously.
brother out, Justin.
And he takes it in the morning, and I take it. And Quinn thinks that we're balance of nature junkies. Just admit it, Quinn. He thinks you guys are going to get addicted. And Justin, are you addicted?
I'm not addicted, but it definitely makes my day a lot better.
See, because he used to have to drink coffee. I used to get B12 shots all the time.
Yeah.
I'd go to my guy, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready.
So you didn't tell me I'm gonna take them out there?
Because he gave me tea in the hip, and I don't need it anymore. Because that's all. It's expensive going to those places like the IV centers to get your B12, and I don't know. Just take balance of nature.
I'm low on B12 too. My doctor told me.
Oh, he really? Oh, maybe I should give you some.
See,
nature.
Balance of nature. Oh, how about Balance of Nature? Send me some. How about that? Come on
okay.
now.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, EVs on hold. We'll explain. And did you know that there's a hip hop task force? Yeah, like Congress, our lawmakers don't have anything better to do. We'll give you some highlights. But now let's head into that newsroom with news from here at home and around the world. Here is Mike Scott.
We'll start with your phone not functioning this morning, especially if you have AT&T.
What's going on?
DownDetector.com reporting more than 32,000 outage reports. That means there's a lot more throughout problem cities like L.A., Dallas, Houston, Chicago, San Francisco, and Atlanta, and cellular outages reported for Verizon, Cricket Wireless, Boost Mobile, and other users as well. We're still determining a reason why. 10 members of Harvard's alumni have filed a federal lawsuit accusing the city of failing to address unrestrained anti-Jewish hate and anti-Semitism on campus. Boeing replacing the head of its 737 MAX program. Mark Mayfield fills us in.
The company announced on Wednesday that 2 decades. The 737-9 MAX jet has been under scrutiny since a door plug blew out during an Alaska Airlines flight last month. The FAA grounded all 737-9 MAX planes following the incident. In response, Boeing has said it is revamping its quality control procedures. I'm Mark Mayfield.
The Hunter Biden laptop hearing will be in Delaware's Superior Court today. U.S. prosecutors say a Japanese crime boss has been trafficking nuclear material from Myanmar to sell in Iran. Prosecutors claim he's a leader in Japan's Yakuza crime syndicate. He'll be in federal district court in Manhattan today. Chicago Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from schools. The issue front and center beginning at 10:30 this morning when the board goes into public session. And Chicago White Sox owner and chairman Jerry Reinsdorf gave an exclusive interview to Crain's Chicago Business this week and gave out new details on the cost of the team's proposed stadium project in the South Loop. Reinsdorf, who we have said met with lawmakers during a visit to Springfield this week, says the total cost of Phase 1 of the ballpark project could hit $4 billion. Blackhawks have dropped 10 of 11, losing last night to the Flyers 3-1. Bulls take on the Celtics tonight. Last night, number 12 Fighting Illini were knocked off by unranked Penn State at historic Rec Hall, 90-89 in Happy Valley. The news service of Chicago Gaelic Park House Raffle. Enter to win a brand new home or a $450,000 cash prize, $100 per ticket. Drawing held March 24th. Visit ChicagoGaelicParkHouseRaffle.com. And a check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Dr. Sebastian Gorka sees our priorities in the wrong place.
The idea that you're sending $100 billion to other countries without doing anything to stop the invasion of America right now, to stop what this administration is doing as we are speaking to American lives.
America First with Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Afternoons at 3, right before Sean Thompson at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary. Oil and natural gas keep going up as the Russia conflict escalates. Get in on the next major oil boom now and help the U.S. with your patriotic investment that can potentially pay you monthly income for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC accredited investor and have at least $25,000 liquid now, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects and a huge tax savings for this year. If you invest in oil and natural gas, you're allowed to write off nearly 100% of your investment in the first year. Goldman Sachs is projecting oil to go up to $100 a barrel, and natural gas is the fuel of the future and trading at record prices. Call 800-287-6691. Encore Energy is a major investor and experienced operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 800-287-6691. That's 800-287-6691.
Find a reason to be here that's bigger than you are.
From the creators of Jesus Revolution.
Something about that little girl. I think I'm supposed to help.
Based on the inspiring true story.
My name is Sharon. I'm good at plenty of things. Taking no for an answer ain't one.
Find your purpose. Make a difference.
You want to go on an adventure?
Yeah.
Ordinary Angels. Starring two-time Academy Award winner Hilary Swank and Alan Ritchson. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. In theaters February 23rd.
This is Dennis Prager, and now a truly exciting new benefit. My monthly online video get-together for Pragertopia Plus members only. For an hour each month, get an exclusive chance to ask me anything. I'll be answering your questions. I've never done this. Submit your questions for me at Pragertopia.com. This is our chance to connect like never before. Go to Pragertopia.com or click the banner at DennisPrager.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And it is a service of Fox Valley Coins. Bring your gold or silver in store today. Each item is priced right in front of you. Coins never leave your sight. Receive cash or check right on the spot. Fox Valley Coins Inbound Kennedy is now at 47 minutes. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Solid traffic on the inbound Edens, 21 in Lake Cook Road into the junction. The Ike right now is at an hour, 390 into the old post office. Stevenson inbound, jam solid, Harlem to Kedzie, 51 minutes in from I-355. Dan Ryan Express lanes, all tied up this morning. Skyway into the Stevenson, stop and go on the Tri-State and northbound between the Stevenson and the Hinsdale Oasis. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Morning shower followed by clouds in the midday and afternoon breaks of sun. High of 57. Currently cloudy and 42. We have light rain in Joliet and light rain in Morris in Romeoville. 44 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
So do you ever think you'll own an electric vehicle, an EV, as they say?
No.
Why not, John? Do you not care about climate change, young man?
Well, from some of the scientists that I've read, it's a farce.
You're telling me it's a lie?
Yeah, some of it, most of it, 99% of it.
Yeah, did you hear yesterday Chicago's suing 5 petroleum oil companies because they're comparing it to the tobacco industry, saying that, it's harming consumers and killing people.
Yeah.
And that's what the oil refineries are doing.
All the gas they releasing from their own mouths is killing us.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, what? All
the BS that they're pushing out. That's what's destroying us.
Okay.
These idiot leaders that we have and their policies.
And they don't care about us.
No,
All
they
right,
don't.
well, we're getting word that the Biden administration is considering delaying its onerous EV mandate past 2030. And with more on that, let's welcome to the program, I do believe this is her first time here, Elaine Parker, JCN Chief Communications Officer. How are you doing? Good morning, Mrs. Parker.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Or is it Ms. Parker? I don't know, but we'll just call you Elaine Parker. So tell us what's going on.
Yeah, well, it looks like the Biden administration has blinked in the face of widespread opposition across the political spectrum. Last year, as you mentioned, the Biden administration had proposed new rules to make 2/3 of all vehicle sales electric by 2032. Very aggressive. And they heard from everybody, basically in opposition to it. They heard from the auto industry, which pleaded with them to tap the brakes. They heard from the labor unions, which expressed fierce opposition because they can see the writing on the wall when it comes to their jobs. They heard from dealers who said, we can't sell these things. Yeah. They're sitting on our lot. We've got 6 to 12 months of inventory. And they heard from our small business owners through our polling that showed 70% of small business owners opposed the EV mandates. So the lesson here is never underestimate the power of the people to change bad policies.
But some people swear by their EVs. They love them.
Well, so I agree. I'm glad. I'm a free market person, and I believe that that consumers should have more choice and more competition. That makes products better, right? That's what our system is made up of. The problem I have with the EV market and the government stepping in is these mandates and the tax subsidies that go along with the EVs distort the market. I think that it should fall under the same economic realities and the same free market pressures that every other industry falls under. And that means providing choice and competition and the best product and the best quality and the best price for the consumers, and let the consumers choose. We don't have that right now with EVs. We have dealers that are losing money, auto manufacturers that are losing money, and most importantly, taxpayers that are losing money on all of these subsidies. The only entity that invests in a losing business model is our government. And just think the post office versus FedEx. The post office loses billions a year. FedEx is profitable.
Yeah.
And yet we continue investing in the post office.
When was the last time you went to a post office, Elaine? I think
Exactly.
I went 2 weeks ago because I had to mail some chocolates to my mom that I got in France.
Oh, gosh.
And nobody was there. It was like there's no lines anymore. You just walk in and do
Depends
your
on
thing.
where you're at.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Manuka, small town like mine, it's crowded.
So we had this. I don't know where you stay in the country or where you're living right now, but we had a horrible cold snap, and a lot of people with electronic vehicles were left out in the cold, and they could not charge their Teslas and their other electronic vehicles.
Yeah, I did see those reports. They did make national news. Yeah, there are issues with the range of these batteries, the charging capacity, the price of the vehicle is obviously exceptionally high, and the reliability in cold climates like that. I happen to be in Florida, so that part's not going to be an issue for us. But the infrastructure to support the EVs, I have a friend who has an EV, and I actually just recently learned a little bit more about them than I knew. You really are buying into inconvenience. And if that's what you want to do, then again, consumer's choice. I'm supportive of that. But you can't just go charge your EV whenever you want. You have to actually let the battery run all the way down before you charge it back up. So every time you get in the car, you're actually thinking, where's my next charge? Where's my next charge? And then once you get to that point where you're charging it, you have to stay in the car with it.
Right,
You can't
and you
just
to wait. Like I had a sorry for interrupting, but I had a Uber driver with an EV. He said he has to wait in the car for 30 minutes, and one time he fell asleep while he was charging his car, and he got a $200 bill.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I'm just not the consumer who wants to buy into that inconvenience right now. But there is a group of people, a population that wants it. It's
Right.
just a very small population right now. As the technology gets better, maybe that will change. But I still think that we shouldn't be subsidizing an industry like this and letting the government pick winners and losers. I mean, we had that with Solyndra. This is actually Solyndra on steroids.
That's true. But the minority running everything, sounds so familiar in American politics, doesn't it? No, but I am for an all of the above approach. I really am. I told you, I used to sit on the energy committee when I was a state rep here in Illinois. So I get it. I understand it. But I'm thinking back now, and this may be this part joke but part serious. I mean, that movie we just saw, Leave the World Behind, when with the EV vehicles just slamming into each other.
Well, they have that self-driving
Right.
mechanism.
But what I'm saying is, you have this fast movement towards everything becoming either electric or digitized, or, I mean, look at what Gavin Newsom is doing. He want stoves without all electric stoves in the houses, no gas imprints, right? You look at what's happening.
We're doing that in Chicago.
And we're doing here
for
in
new
Chicago.
construction. Yes.
Right. But my thing is, what about the control mechanisms? Are we safe if we go to an all electric grid? And can the grids maintain the pull from being all electric? That's a lot there. Did we lose her?
No, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here. The grid, I mean, it's clear that right now the grid cannot support this aggressive move towards all electric. And I'm sure many of us have grandparents and parents who do not want to give up their gas stoves. But it's not a stretch as you see this aggressive move towards all electric to imagine a rationing process due to an insufficient power grid if we do this too fast. And we already kind of saw how the government decides who's essential and who's not essential during COVID, right? Yep. So imagine this rationing process if our grid can't support what our government is trying to force down our throats so quickly and so aggressively. Who's more important? When I wake up in the morning, am I more important than my neighbor for going to work? Is it our government officials that are the most important to go to work? Who's the most important here, and who gets to decide? So those are all issues that people probably haven't thought a lot about. But that goes beyond just the cost of the car, the infrastructure, the cost of replacing the battery. It can be as much as $20,000. I mean, there's a lot of downside to this. Again, I am all about all of the above and free market forces. But that's not what's happening here.
But I don't want government to be able to basically turn off my stove, or because I think it's going to get to that point with the smart televisions.
Unless Trump's reelected.
Yeah, I don't think it's now. I don't think it's going to happen now. I think that's. I mean, you never know. I'm sure the technology exists, but I'm really not a conspiracy theorist. I promise you, I am not. But when you look at what they've been able to do, and I think COVID was a trial run for a lot of things to see how much the American people or the world would take from government leaders, and how
compliant we would be.
How compliant we would be. That I mean, is that reasonable, or am I just way out there in Twilight Land?
Well, look, I think people really did feel like they lost a lot of freedoms. I mean, they were told their children couldn't go to school. They were told they had to wear masks. They were told whether or not they could open their businesses. They were told whether or not they could go to restaurants. And I think that the large majority of Americans didn't like that. Now, with EVs, I don't think that any of this means that people don't like electric vehicles and they're not in favor of sustainability. Again, I'm probably not going to be a consumer of an EV because of the inconvenience factor that I see. But I think what it means is they're not against EVs, they're against mandates.
That's right.
Yep.
Americans don't want to be told what to do.
I want choice.
That's true.
For sure. All right, Elaine Parker, we're going to have to leave it there for today. She is the JCN Chief Communications Officer. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have you back soon. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
She didn't answer the question.
Your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, it's Randy Donnelly from Donnelly Auctions in Union, Illinois, and I want to talk to you about your unused basement rec rooms. We all had them back in the 60s and 70s with jukeboxes, pinballs, and slot machines, Coca-Cola signs, and even gas pumps. We all had a great time in those days, but fast forward, and I'll bet you haven't gone down there in years. That's where I can help by turning those items into cash through Donnelly Auctions. We have thousands of customers online eager to bid on your items, and it's easier than you might think. Just give me a call at 815-923-7000, and I'll make those items fit in your wallet. Look us up online at DonnellyAuctions.com to see all of the items that we can sell for you. Give me a call today at 815-923-7000, and don't forget to check out the Donnelly Auctions Hour Saturdays at 1 o'clock on AM 560. Subscribe and check out the podcast too. I'm Randy Donnelly, and I'll see you at the auction.
It's not your windows, it's your attic. That is the biggest source of energy loss in your home. And Permaseal is here to help. They're introducing their latest innovation in home comfort, their attic insulation service. Attic insulation is designed to maximize energy efficiency, ensuring your home stays comfortable year-round. And you could trust Permaseal installers to install your new insulation with precision and care. And they're not testing. They say if you're not testing, you're guessing. So Permaseal certified installers use digital imaging cameras and a blow door test so they can get right to the source. You'll be more comfortable. You will have lower utility bills, and your family's house will be healthy. So call Permaseal today to schedule a free estimate. 800-421-SEAL, 800-421-7325, or visit permaseal.net.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE, Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
Pure Talk believes in American values and that free should mean exactly that, free. Well, switch to Pure Talk today and you'll get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. Now, qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and, of course, mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk, claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone. Start saving on wireless today and switch to my cell phone company, Pure Talk.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm here in San Diego. I mean, I surf, I'm active, I'm an ex-college athlete. Well, I decided, I'm going to try that Balance of Nature. Let's just see what happens. Like after about a month and a half, man, what a difference. That sold me right there. That's when I was like, this stuff's working, so I'm going to stick with it. And so I've been sticking with it ever since. And it's definitely helped, and I definitely feel good. Seems like to be the real deal.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
An informed and educated citizenry is the only guarantee to preserve our constitutional republic. And each week, you'll hear from experts, not pundits, and find out what's really happening, from local issues to national politics. Listen to The Real Story with Jeannie Ives. There's no topic of public policy concern that she won't talk about. Stop the lies. Learn the truth. Join the conversation. Sunday night at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer. AM 560, The Answer.
All right, the phone lines are open. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. You could also text us at 64636. Type in DA, then a quick count. Are you choking over there?
I'm not going to say it. Yes.
Am I going to have to perform the Heimlich? What are you eating?
I'm eating pecans.
The what?
Pecans. Pecans.
Oh, we have pecans?
Yeah.
Oh, in the snack cart?
Yes.
Outside our HR.
Normally, I don't eat to noon.
Mm-hmm.
I do intermittent fast.
That
went down the wrong way.
Intermittent fasting.
That really did go down the wrong way.
All right. Well, can you stop eating for a second so we can do a radio show, please?
I'm trying to stop it.
But this fasting thing, so you don't eat until
noon.
Well, now you just ate it.
Well, because I'm up earlier.
Okay.
It's been, using so much
And then
energy.
Is there a cutoff time?
Depends on my day.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally after I eat dinner, no more eating.
No more no
I try
snacking?
not to. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Because I'm not a big sweet eater. I don't eat a lot of sweet.
I worked with somebody at Blaine. She would do intermittent. She would not eat anything until 2 in the afternoon, but she'd carry around a big jug of water. She was getting ready for her wedding, and that's the first time I ever heard of intermittent fasting.
Oh, really?
And then she'd stop eating at 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to lose the dad bod gut.
The dad bod? The dad bod's hot right now.
I want to get healthy.
Well, you look good. Have you lost weight or something?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get healthy.
It's
not about losing weight. It's about getting healthy.
Okay. Like fitting into that certain
Deb's
dress size?
Deb's brought juicers and all that type of stuff. So.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Well, you look good.
Yeah, thank you.
You look healthy.
Except for the beard. All the gray. See that?
Oh, that's right. You got gray in your beard. That's all right. So Trump's VP pick when he did that town hall with Laura Ingraham. Yeah. We got some new and fresh ideas for who wants to be by his side.
So someone who can step into the role.
Most importantly, you have to view that.
The audience has been asked who they think would be a good choice, and various names came up. One of them was, of course, Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah. He's made a big splash. Ron DeSantis, who's making an appearance today in South Carolina, we just found out. Obviously, Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, and a big presence here for Tulsi Gabbard. Very interesting. And Kristi Noem as well, I should say. Right. Are they all on your short list? And when can we expect that you will announce your choice?
The one thing that always surprises me is that the VP choice has absolutely no impact. It's whoever the president is. It just seems. I remember when Sarah Palin was actually picked, and she did have a big up, and then they just went after her at a level that nobody's seen. The Republicans themselves went after what they did.
But you'll be a one-term president because you've already served, so you can only serve for one term, although they say you'll never leave office. I assume that you'll never leave. There'll never be another election
don't
again.
Don't do it. He'll never leave. He's never going. Oh, these people. They are crazy.
So for that.
All right, so who do you want? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. The Tulsi Gabbard one threw me for a little loop.
Yeah, I like her, but no, not for VP.
Why not?
Why is still a Democrat. I mean, she was just a Democratic Congresswoman.
You can be a recovering Democrat.
I am one.
I
so
am
I
one
get
too.
That.
We
know. But Sebastian Gorka already let it out of the bag that it's a man. So which man is it? Sebastian Gorka came on his show.
Sebastian Gorka.
Yeah,
He came on what show?
On his own show.
Yes.
And he said he
That's right. He has a show here on 560.
And he said
I do listen, I swear.
So I forget who he was interviewing, and he's like, so it's a man. So he's like, yeah. So he basically wasn't supposed to. Chris Stigl, that's who he was talking to. And he said, well, it is a man. And he's going to be ready day one. I think it's Ron DeSantis or Byron Donalds.
That's too Florida.
Listen, Trump can change his address. I think you satisfy those never Trumper, and I think this is where Trump is probably wrong. I think the VP pick is going to be important for Donald Trump because people are going to need to say, okay, I can vote for, because I didn't vote for John McCain. I voted because he had Sarah Palin on the ticket. I would have stayed out of that presidential election that year.
So
I did not like John McCain. I've never been a fan of John McCain.
But you liked Sarah Palin.
Personally, he's a good dude, but politically, John McCain was one of the he hurt the Republican Party, and so many, especially with the Obamacare.
Obamacare, the health care, last minute thumbs down.
Yeah.
Such a dramatic moment.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Look at me. Alan in Rockford, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Amy, I vote for Tulsi Gabbard. My top requirements for a candidate is an understanding, a firm understanding of the Constitution of the United States of America, a firm understanding of the economics of the world and macroeconomics. Third, Army, Navy, the military, I don't know a better word, but they understand warfare. And fourth, finances. Those four things have to be present in a president and a vice president for them to be qualified to do the job, in my opinion.
She's
All right.
a Bernie
Thanks,
girl.
Alan.
She's a Bernie girl, though.
Tulsi?
She's a Bernie Sanders gal. I mean,
I don't like any of those names. What about Dr. Ben Carson?
He was on the list, I believe.
All right. Carl in Big Cabin, Oklahoma, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You know, I Tulsi, if no way. No. Bernie.
See?
Now, Kristi Noem from South Dakota. She's done phenomenal things with that state, her policies. But I have to go with the governor of Florida, DeSantis, because his policies, it's not about personality. It's about policy and what's good for America.
Okay. Well, you know what, too? I mean, he does need to pick a VP who could eventually become president since he is only one term.
DeSantis is my pick.
All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, what in the world of migrant shelter madness? We'll explain with our good friend Curtis Sliwa. He'll be joining us. It's been a while to catch up with him. I love him. He's so fiery. Yeah. And too bad he's not the mayor
I've tried to get
of
him
New
on
York
my
City.
show.
Well, we'll talk about that. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Southside apartment fire leaves 7 injured, including a very young child. A new dollar store ordinance is passed in Chicago as the mayor reveals 4 Chicago migrant shelters will close this week. And the Blackhawks lose to the Flyers.
A lot of Americans are frustrated with their phones. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. More than 70,000 AT&T customers reporting a loss of cell service this morning.
Everywhere from Louisville to Los Angeles, lots of folks under the gun this morning. Thousands of users from both T-Mobile and Verizon are also reporting service disruptions.
But most of the outages involve AT&T. Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis also reports the company put out a statement.
We're working urgently to restore service to them. We encourage the use of Wi-Fi calling until service is restored.
President Biden is considering using executive orders to stem record illegal immigration.
After a bipartisan Senate border and immigration deal fell apart, the president is said to be considering unilateral action to severely restrict asylum claims made by migrants at the southern border. Any executive action would be a reversal. President Biden and White House officials have argued he could not take any new action without legislation from Congress.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. Now, Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does not want the president to sign that asylum order, posting on X, "Doing Trump impressions is not how we beat Trump." President Biden's brother talked to House Republicans for hours in their impeachment inquiry, and while James Biden insists the president was not involved in his overseas business dealings, Congressman Russell Fry tells Fox they showed him documents contradicting that.
if your lips are moving, you're lying. And that seemed to be kind of my biggest takeaway from what happened yesterday.
Congressman Jamie Raskin, a Democrat, says the indictment of FBI informant Alexander Smirnov on charges of lying about Biden transactions undercuts the GOP probe.
Now we know that Russian intelligence operatives were behind creating the propaganda and disinformation at the very foundation of this investigation. So I think it's time for Chairman Comer and the Republicans to fold up the circus tent.
There was an unexpected drop in new unemployment last week, 201,000 first-time claims, 5% fewer than the week before. America's listening to Fox News.
8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Cold and a bit of rain in the area. Chicago's Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from schools. The issue will be front and center beginning at 10:30 this morning when the board goes into public session. A second Chicago apartment fire in as many days sent 7 to the hospital. Among the injured, an infant who was last listed in critical condition at Comer Children's Hospital. A man charged with killing 7 and injuring dozens more at the 4th of July parade in Highland Park in 2022 will stand trial in February 2025. Robert Cremo III was charged with 21 counts of first-degree murder. Mayor Brandon Johnson formally introduced a proposal during a city council meeting borrowing $1.25 billion to fund affordable housing projects.
Residents in community areas need and deserve. I made a promise. I'm going to keep it.
Governor J.B. Pritzker is calling for the elimination of the state's 1% grocery tax. Pritzker outlined that proposal inside of his state budget address.
Folks are still feeling the squeeze every week at the grocery store. So there's one more thing that we ought to do. For the good of our state's working families, let's permanently eliminate the grocery tax.
His budget plan, which totals $52.7 billion, includes more than $181 million to tackle the state's migrant crisis. But State Rep Blaine Wilhauer says Pritzker himself is to blame for that.
You can't literally invite people to come here with this insane sanctuary state policy and then complain that we don't have the resources when they arrive.
And Chicago officials say they're closing 4 city shelters as the number of migrants arriving in the city slows down. Those facilities are in the Loop, North Lawndale, Lakeview, and North Park. Blackhawks lost to the Flyers 3-1, fighting a Illini fall in Big Ten hoops, losing to unranked Penn State 90-89. The news service of Crosscom Public Adjusters. If your home or business has an insurance claim, Crosscom will help you get what you need and have coming to you. They've helped thousands. CrossComPublicAdjusters.com. AM 560 news time is 8:04. Time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs. And now the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
NVIDIA sales rose to new heights in the recent quarter, and it is forecasting an even bigger boom in demand for artificial intelligence chips. Sales more than tripled in its recent quarter from a year ago and are projected to do so again in the current quarter. Wedbush analyst Dan Ives says NVIDIA's results show the AI revolution is just starting and not peaked. Nestle is reporting a sharper than expected drop in its full year sales because shoppers are rejecting higher prices. It makes many brands sold in supermarkets from Carnation to DiGiorno to Häagen-Dazs. Nestle raised prices 7.5% last year to cover higher costs for cocoa and other ingredients. Vaccine maker Moderna shares are higher after a surprise increase in its profit. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Charlie Kirk sees more looking down on the voters.
Tom Tillis, our base cannot possibly know what's at stake at the level that any well-briefed U.S. senator should know about what's at stake if Putin wins. You guys are just too stupid, is what Tom Tillis is saying. You know, all of you that send emails and make phone calls, that pay your taxes, just stop trying.
The Charlie Kirk Show. Afternoons at 1, right before Sebastian Gorka at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
It's Kevin and Taylor. You know, Samaritan's Purse is a Christian international relief organization. They help hurting people all around the world in Jesus' name. And right now they're in Israel responding to one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in Israel's history.
Yeah, Samaritan's Purse, they just delivered 14 new ambulances to replace the ones that were destroyed. But that's not all. They're giving an additional 8 armored ambulances equipped with armor plating that will serve in places most at risk.
They're also on the ground with a disaster assistance response team working with the local church to help displaced people.
In fact, they've delivered 18,000 food boxes, 4,000 hot meals, and over 18,000 food vouchers to help families that are suffering.
They've airlifted 1,000 emergency trauma kits with medical supplies like tourniquets and suture kits that will give life-saving care.
Find out how you can help at SamaritansPurse.org. Great testimonies of what God is doing and a lot of different opportunities to get involved at SamaritansPurse.org.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
When a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty, okay, who's there to help them or their families left behind? Who's helping our homeless vets and our nation to never forget 9/11? Well, that's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and right now they can only continue this great work with your generosity. We hope you'll join all of us here at Team Hannity. Go to their website, commit to $11 a month. It's the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org. The letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
It's 8:08. Let's check the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. The Kennedy at 55 minutes. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. The Ike inbound jam solid 25th to California. It is an hour and 8 from 390 into the old post office. Stevenson, brake lights Harlem Avenue to Kedzie, and 56 minutes from 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Tri-State jams up on the northbound side between the Stevenson and 47th. Harvey, structure fire, wood between 154th and 152nd is shut down. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Steve Williams.
A stray shower to start things off this morning. Clouds will give way to some sun later on. The high today, 57. Clear tonight, though, 35. And then a mix of clouds and sun. Breezy. Some flurries tomorrow afternoon and evening. High tomorrow at 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
Cloudy and 42 at O'Hare, 50 at Midway. Light rain in Morris and Romeoville, where it's 46. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me.
And he is the host of Black and Right Radio, which could be heard Saturdays from 4 to 7 p.m.
That's right.
Right here on AM 560.
You've gotten so much better. Not Black
No,
is
remember
Right.
that?
Remember Black is Right?
I used to say it was Sundays, and then
Yeah.
It's Saturdays from 4 to 7. It is a live show.
Live show.
Best 3 hours of your life.
Yes, I mean, it's the fastest 3 hours.
And real quickly, but before we move on to our next topic, we were talking about Trump's possible VP picks. I think Ron DeSantis should be defense secretary.
You do?
Yeah, because he's a former military man. He's also a former congressman. He knows how Washington works. But yeah, and if he got prostate cancer, I think he'd let his boss know.
Of course.
If he decided to have some elective surgery, I think he'd let his boss know.
Yes.
And I know Secretary Austin apologized for that, but now if I had cancer,
If a soldier did that.
call my boss.
What would happen if a soldier did that, though? They'd be court-martialed, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good point.
Yeah, but that's okay.
All right, so what in God's name is going on in New York? I don't know if you saw this. There's a migrant shelter. I call it migrant shelter madness. There's a shelter in New York, and New York's finest.
Did you say illegal immigrant shelter?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
4 police officers went to arrest an illegal for committing a second crime, and they threw everything at him.
Yeah,
a backpack, a cushion, water bottles, a chair. What else? A hoodie. And this is what it sounded like. Ándale, pues, ándale.
Sound like saying dale.
I mean,
dale too.
Just an example of the lack of respect to all of us because we hooked them up with free shelter, food, clothing, and what is
cell phones?
What is? Oh, that's right, cell phones. Okay, don't forget about that. And what did Mayor Adams do? What do you think he did?
Nothing.
Did he condemn their actions and say we need to respect authority, respect police?
I'm sure he did that.
No, this is what he did.
You have bad actors, yes. And anytime you have 3,000 people who are placed in an environment that they cannot work, they have to sit around all day. Things like this have the potential to happen. This is what happens when you get this national problem on a city. We need the national government to assist in resolving this problem.
I mean, unbelievable.
Sounds like Brandon a little bit.
Brandon Johnson?
The same messaging.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. It's just, guys, it's just a few bad apples.
Yeah.
They're just adults being silly.
No.
Because they have to sit around all. I mean, you should feel sorry for them. Yeah. They have to sit around all day and they can't work.
Now, dude, what's the vetting process to allow them into these illegal immigrants housing shelters?
I don't think there is any.
Yeah, because
process.
How do we know that they weren't just let out of the prisons in these countries that they're coming from?
I keep hearing that they're emptying jails in Venezuela and then bringing them up here. With more on this, let's welcome back to the program. It has been a hot minute. Curtis Sliwa, former Republican candidate for New York City mayor and founder of the Guardian Angels. Good morning, Curtis. How are you?
Amy, John, my hands across the Migrant Center in New York to the Migrant Center in Chicago. I know it well. I grew up on 46 in Rockwell, South Side, from age 1 to 5 before the family took me back to Brooklyn, and you know the rest of the story.
So what happened at that migrant shelter, and where exactly is that located?
This particular migrant shelter is on a place called Randall's Island. Normally, it's there for people to utilize for sports, softball, soccer, volleyball, and there's some training centers. So the mayor, in his lack of wisdom, decided to put 3,000 single able-bodied young men of military age with nothing to do with nowhere to go in this tent, and the Venezuelan gangs took it over, like as if they had taken over Cook County Jail or Rikers Island in New York. So you come in there, you answer to them. Police of the NYPD are not permitted to go in to these shelters unless there's a 911 call. They patrol on the outside, but they're not permitted on the inside. They have rent-a-cops, private security, who can't handle this. And naturally, look, think of it, Amy and John, for a year, the Venezuelans are watching chaos in the streets of New York by our regular citizens who hit cops, get away with it, shoplift, boost products, do fare evasion, basically disrespect law and order. And they've seen the recent crazies supporting Hamas, who sing from the river to the sea. They've seen them engage in battles with the police, and they see there are no consequences. So it's learned behavior. Now they've taken over. The Venezuelan gangs, they're in charge, and they recognize there are no consequences. Remember, before this, on 42nd Street, the gateway to the world, 7th Avenue, 42nd Street, 14 Venezuelan punk thugs beat up 2 NYPD cops, and they're still looking for 6 of them. Alvin Bragg cut them loose. No bail, didn't basically remand them to jail. And so you understand why there's chaos in the streets of New York. And if you're a migrant, especially Venezuelan, you're an untouchable.
What about that fancy hotel that they were staying at, and then they refused to leave, some families, when they said, no, we're going to take you to a different location? Is that still overrun by migrants? Are they starting to clear any of them out?
No. The hotels have been leased and booked for years, believe it or not, 3 years. The largest being the Roosevelt Hotel, which is where they get processed and then outsourced, owned by the Pakistani government, one of the most corrupt in the world. We gave them $198 million. No bid, right? Nobody, no transparency. We don't know who the contracts are signed by. We know that Eric Adams' administration, I think, as you all know, is under investigation by the feds for political corruption. They're getting massive kickbacks, and they basically turned this into a money-making operation. Now, all of a sudden, the mayor realizes if he avoids going to the big house and chains in shackles, federal prison for political corruption, and gets to run for a second term, this is hanging over his head. His popularity polls are at 28%.
Really?
That's lower than Biden. That's lower than the governor, Kathy Crime-Wave Hochul.
Kathy Crime-Wave Hochul.
Hey, Curtis, what's the sentiment of the voters of New York? I know you saw President Trump said he's coming to the Bronx. He's coming to Brooklyn, right?
He's going to go to Queens.
He's going to go to Queens and do some rallies. What are what's being said out there on the streets as it relates to this illegal immigration invasion of New York?
Well, first off, as you know, the politics, Chicago's politics is just like New York.
Yeah.
To the winner go the spoils.
Yeah.
Eric Adams, our second African-American mayor. And without the African-American overwhelming vote, who knows, maybe Curtis Lewa would be mayor today.
True.
But he earned it. He worked the community. He's been involved with the community for over 40 years. But now you're an African American, some of whom have serious problems, homeless, emotionally disturbed, some who are veterans serving in peacetime, wartime, who live in the subways and streets. And now all of a sudden he tells you, a black mayor tells you to get to the back of the bus, and we're going to put up these illegals who nobody knows who they are, who come in on an easy pass, and we're going to feed them, clothe them, give them iPhones, smartphones, and culturally appropriate food. So if they don't want to eat a bagel with the schmear, they get con arroz, habichuelas, beans and rice. And hey, by the way, give me a chuleta, a pork chop on top. And the mayor says, yeah, get it for them from Grubhub. And who pays for it? Not the federal taxpayers, not the state taxpayers. We in New York City, the suckers who underwrite this. And then the other group that's so pissed, and rightfully so, first-generation immigrants who came in the right way, some of them waiting 5 or 7 years, mostly the Latinos. And I am seeing a tremendous turn this time around from 2016 and 2020. Yeah. Latinos for Trump everywhere, everywhere.
And just to piggyback on what you're saying, there's a guy, big in Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. His name is Dom Lucre, the breaker of narratives. He's here in Chicago right now with Mark Carter, going all across the city of Chicago. So they know they're in trouble. That's why Pritzker put that, how much million for the homeless in Chicago?
Oh, $52 million.
52 million. But you,
so
you see,
$182 million for migrants,
right,
after we've already given them $300 million
exactly,
of our tax dollars, which we have no say in how it's spent.
Exactly. But you see the parallels in New York and in Chicago. So you're right, Curtis. They know they're in trouble with the black community because Joe Biden's not president if Clyburn doesn't help him in South Carolina. What are you hearing that from the black community itself, Curtis?
Oh yeah, and so is Eric Adams. Before the weekend came, there was a luxury condo building that had been built in Harlem, and it was going to be occupied, but then the lockdown and pandemic came of March of 2020, and a lot of the real estate there that was being developed ended up being basically saran wrapped. It was closed. I mean, we're talking pool, we're talking luxury accommodations. So the mayor announced on Thursday, I'm going to use that for migrant housing. On Friday, there was a huge turnout of African Americans, his supporters, I might add, who are like ready to come and, burn the torches and stand outside of City Hall. So he shows up on Saturday and he goes, hey, no mas, no mas. It will not be a migrant center. I don't know how this happened. Please, I love you, baby. Who loves you, baby? And they looked at him and you obviously don't. They were fornicating him and mad-dogging him.
Yeah, I saw that. He walked in. Like, oh, surprise, look who's here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mayor Adams. All right, but he is starting this pilot program for debit cards, and here's him explaining what that is. These are not for homeless New Yorkers, American citizens. This is for illegals.
That this was a smart policy shift that we're doing on a pilot project with 500 people. If this is successful, we're going to expand it even more so that we can we got to bring down the cost. 20% we want to bring down the cost, and their team are doing their job.
And I heard he's giving out prepaid cash cards up to $10,000. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. Look, it's really a version of a SNAP card combined with a debit card.
Oh,
$1,000 is on the card each month. And you know how you can abuse a SNAP card. That's like currency in the streets of the hood. I let you use my SNAP card. You give me cash. The cashier never looks at the picture that's on the SNAP card. It could be a man using the SNAP card. It's a woman's face. The supermarket doesn't care. Wow. The grocery store doesn't care because it's all a shakedown of the taxpayers. So now here's another scam that we're introducing these brand new illegal aliens to. They're loving America. You can scam your way and get everything for free.
And Curtis, someone just said on our text line, Trump should pick Curtis for Secretary of Homeland Security. I think it should be Tom Homan, but I could definitely see you as Deputy Director of Homeland Security. Would you join the Trump campaign in some capacity if he reaches out?
Oh, without a doubt. But I think where I could best serve is organizing, particularly minority youth, to patrol the inner city neighborhoods to combat the gangs. That's what I've done. We just had our 45th anniversary of the Guardian Angels. I started it in the Bronx. We're in 13 countries, 130 cities. But our cities, our urban areas, are just filled with casualties that we would normally associate with wartime casualties. Chi-Town is my second city.
Yeah.
My Sliwa family lives there, Polish family. They're out in Lockport now between Joliet and Chicago. So many have fled.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to say, hey, I did something in honor of my father, who actually went to the old Kaminsky Park, brought me there, cursed out Mickey Mantle, my hero, when the Yankees were there. And I need to make amends to my dad because I said, Dad, I don't love you anymore. You cursed out Mickey Mantle at Kaminsky Park. He goes, we hate the Yankees. We're White Sox fans.
Oh, gosh. Go Cubs.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, before we let you go, I have two more questions for you. One about this trucker boycott of New York City. Has that gotten any traction? Are your prices going up? Are you still getting food delivered?
Well, our prices are going up because of Biden economics, right? It's like inflation. I haven't seen the effect. We are very dependent on all of our supplies coming in by trucks from all over the country, including the heartland of America, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska. But to be honest, haven't seen the effects. It would probably take about 2 weeks to actually see a difference, in terms of shortages, in terms of prices increases. I like what the truckers are doing. Let's face it. The only language that politicians understand is when it's pain compliance from the voters who are screaming at the top of their lungs. The people who get elected president have always got elected president because of people having coins in their pocket and not having coins. It's always about the money, as Bill Clinton said. It's always about the economy.
All right, last question, because you and I are both cat lovers.
Uh-oh.
I know, so is Justin Kosick. Our technical producer, when his cat died, he got a tattoo of his cat's paw on his forearm. Isn't that cool?
Absolutely. In fact, remember, Chicago has the number one rat problem. New York City, the number one four-legged rat problem. And cats. I know Chicago has gone out to try to get feral cats from shelters all over the country where they would be killed, euthanized. They are the best deterrent to rats and mice. Forget the poisons, forget dry ice, forget all these artificial ways of getting at the rats and cats. They are survivors, the rats. You need détente. The only thing they fear is a colony of feral cats.
Wow. Yeah, I had a cat colony for almost 6 years.
What?
And what do you mean? Well, I could show you. I could text you pictures of rat. One day, Curtis, they killed 7 rats.
The cat lady.
And I don't know what they do with their heads. But they leave it's crazy though. Yeah. But I love those, and one passed away, died in my arms, and because eventually, if the cats trust you, you can pet them, But and the other one, I don't know where he went. Marshfield. I miss my cat. But anyway, I have an indoor cat. But yeah, you're right. That is the best deterrent because my neighbors loved my feral cat colony, and I had the heating pad, and I had a condo, like the big tub and everything. But you have cats in your apartment. How many do you have right now?
We have 18 that my wife Nancy has rescued from the shelter. They have a kill list. We are not a no-kill city. We need to be a no-kill city. My wife will drop everything. She rescues the cats. Many of them are sick or ill. She socializes them, and then she adopts them out. She believes, and she's right, if they can go with a friend that they've socialized with, they're the best family members you've ever had. Because guess what? You could have a tough day. Your kids are complaining. Your wife or husband's complaining. Your aunts or uncles are complaining. Your cats will never complain. They'll just come up to you and purr. And they did that for me on the campaign trail for mayor when things weren't looking good. Even my wife said, "Shut up. I don't want to hear anything more." My cats couldn't get enough.
All right, Curtis.
Really
the
quickly.
best.
Curtis, were you ever back in town? I live down in Joliet, not too far from Lockport. Let's head over to Jackie's if you're ever in.
Jackie's? I want to go to the prison. I've been there before, man. That will scare the living bejeebus.
That's true.
I went to Stateville too. That was I had to interview somebody once, and it was that will scare a kid straight. That's for sure. All right, Curtis Sliwa, former Republican candidate for mayor, founder of the Guardian Angels. You can follow him on Twitter at Curtis Sliwa. Curtis, thank you so much for joining us, and God bless.
Anytime, Amy and John, my hands across America to the heartland of America, Chi-Town, my second city.
All right, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Frank Vance, co-owner of Egan Vance Insurance Agency on Chicago's Northwest Side and a customer of Signature Bank. In my line of work, we pride ourselves on being there for our clients when they need it the most, and we recognize when someone does the same for us. As Egan Vance was expanding, we wanted to buy a much sought-after building in the neighborhood. We couldn't waste any time. I called Signature Bank, and that was all it took. I didn't have to talk to multiple people in siloed departments with multiple forms to fill out. One call did it all. As the one who was always looking out for my clients, it was a great change to know that my bank, Signature Bank, was looking out for me.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, what's that text message that just came in?
Frank on Facebook. For all the reparation fanatics, the illegals are getting your reparations cash. Ouch! Ooh, Frank.
All right, sick and tired of achy joints, dread the idea of surgery? Well, you need to call QC Kinetics today. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids, cortisone shots, surgery, no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that really do deliver long-lasting results. We went to see their clinic in Oak Brook, and it was amazing. Got to talk to a lot of people who swear by QC Kinetics, and they say it's state-of-the-art treatments that harness and direct your body's own natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Think about it. If you cut your hand, John, it eventually heals itself. So you have the power within your body. It's a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. So make this year the year you reclaim your mobility without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful addictive drugs. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. They have new locations in Crystal Lake in Gurnee. 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hi, I'm Susan Hathaway Altman, a conservative leader running for Congress in the 11th District. I have the heart to fight for you and an America where citizens are first and individual rights and freedoms are upheld. My common sense, practical approach comes from 30 years as a prominent corporate business leader. And as a catalyst for Congress to work together, I'll tackle inflation, border crisis, safety issues, academic excellence, and more. Go to SusanForCongress.com. Early voting open now. I'm Susan Hathaway Altman, and I approve this message. Paid for by the Susan for Congress Committee.
Rick Borick, host of Unleash Your Wealth, talks about the importance of tax planning in retirement.
A qualified financial planner can take you through all the steps to show you every single legal way you can use to reduce and minimize your state income taxes across the board so that, again, you keep more of your money and your family keeps more of your money.
Unleash Your Wealth, Saturday at 7 a.m. and our new time at 2 p.m. here on AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, people are starting to fight back against the Bring Chicago Home initiative. David Hochberg will explain that, and also how you can help our men and women in blue. But now let's head into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
8:32 on AM 560, The Answer. South suburbs seeing some light rain this morning and much cooler temperatures right now. Israeli police say 3 gunmen opened fire on a road near a checkpoint in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, killing 1 Israeli, wounding 5 others. 2 of the attackers were killed. And a major U.S. airline is resuming direct flights to Tel Aviv.
United Airlines plans to resume some direct U.S. flights to Israel next month. It'll be the first U.S. airline to fly again since the October 7th attack by Hamas militants on southern Israel. United will resume flights from Newark Liberty Airport to Tel Aviv March 6th. It will also fly from Newark to Tel Aviv starting March 2nd. It doesn't plan to restart flights from other U.S. cities until at least the fall. United says it will continue to monitor the situation in Tel Aviv and adjust the schedule as warranted. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
Members of the GOP accused President Biden's brother James of lying during their interview yesterday about his foreign business affairs. South Carolina Congressman Russell Fry.
If your lips are moving, you're lying, and that seemed to be kind of one of my biggest takeaway from what happened yesterday.
The White House has denied any connection between the White House and James Biden, citing, they say, a lack of evidence. Meantime, the Hunter Biden laptop hearing will be in the Delaware Superior Court today. The suit was filed by the man who turned it over to the FBI and later shared contents with Rudy Giuliani. Chicago's Board of Education could vote today to remove police officers from the schools. The issue will be front and center beginning at 10:30 this morning when the board goes into public session. A second Chicago apartment fire in as many days sent 7 to the hospital. Among the injured was an infant last listed in critical condition at Comer Children's Hospital. 2 teens charged in a deadly shooting are in court this week. The 17-year-old and 14-year-old are facing felony murder charges related to the death of 16-year-old Davion Gibson. And there will not be an adults-only section in libraries in Kenosha County, Wisconsin. Full County Board last night voted down a plan to put books, movies, and other things with adult themes or adult scenes in a restricted section. Supporters say the idea was to protect kids from seeing things they were not supposed to see. Some library managers cried censorship. Blackhawks, a 3-1 loss to Philadelphia. Number 12 Fighting Illini knocked off by unranked Penn State 90-89 last night. The news is a service of Quick Delivery Service. Visit quickdeliveryservice.com when you need same-day delivery of your routes. Ground delivery when you need it from safe, licensed professionals. Go to quickdelivery.com now to schedule your delivery. And a check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Prager always speaks the truth.
Another guy defeated women in a sport
This is a girls' high jump contest. It's a matter of truth. It's not a matter of pro-trans, anti-trans. It's a matter of truth. It's a boy. That's why this person won the high jump contest.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Charlie Kirk at 1 on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Seth Leibson of 960thepatriot.com for townhall.com. It is insulting to banana republics when we compare them to our nation's use of the courts to silence and stop Donald Trump. Banana republics of yore had a shame about it. They did their cloak and dagger work in the dark, as quietly as possible. They didn't parade and strut the way our judges and prosecutors do as they indict and try Donald Trump at federal and local levels. No, what we are seeing in the lawfare against Donald Trump to obtain what cannot be won at the ballot box, namely his defeat, is Putinism. Vladimir Putin struts and parades his use of the apparatuses of government to silence and retribute against his political foes. He has no shame about it. He sees the publicity of it as a tool and message. Come against me politically, face state-sanctioned punishment. For those who denounce Putin, wake up. The rapidity of it all is different here. The ends, and increasingly the means, are not. I'm Seth Leibson.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I like your product. Your product is great. I'm 75 and it works well for me.
Yeah, I'm 70 years old and it's really made a difference. It feels good.
Oh, I just feel better. I can tell the difference.
I feel like a teenager because I walk 2 miles every day, me and my husband. I mean, you can't go wrong with this product, I tell you.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fox Valley Coins. No waiting, no problems, no charge for in-store verbal appraisals. Bring your gold or silver in today. FoxValleyCoins.com.
8:38. Let's get an update of the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center is a service of Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you. With Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. The Edens right now is at 20 heavy minutes, Lake Cook Road into the junction. The Kennedy right now is solid from Austin to Montrose, 50 minutes from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. DuSable Lakeshore Drive showing up with delays northbound between 18th and Monroe. The Reagan heavy and slow eastbound between York Road and the Tri-State. In Harvey, Wood Street shut down in both directions due to a structure fire. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Morning showers in the area, followed by clouds for the midday and breaking for a little afternoon sun, high 57. Clear and moonlit and a little chilly, low 35 tonight. 42 in clouds at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
We'll get to it, I promise. John Anthony wants to talk about his blackandwhiteradio.com store.
Of course. Why not?
All right, what do you got on there?
Oh, you name it.
Well,
you got to go visit it. You have to go visit blackandwhiteradio.com to see what's on there.
I love uploading and downloading, too. It's really fun.
You know, I made one that says Dudes for Trump.
Dudes for Trump? Oh, that's good. Yeah. Is that a T-shirt or a mug?
Hoodie, T-shirt, mug.
Hoodie, T-shirt, mug.
Good guy with a gun.
Good guy with a gun.
And just Black and White Radio.
blackandwhiteradio.com.
Please head over. You know what? I need to tell you what it's for.
Oh.
It's going to help me. I'm trying to syndicate show.
You're trying to what?
Syndicate Black and White Radio until I can get a Monday through Friday show.
All right.
So that helps with the efforts.
Okay.
Yeah, but do it myself.
All right. We'll do it live.
I'm
I'll
a
do
bet
it
on
myself.
black.
Okay. All right. Have you heard about the Bring Chicago Home initiative?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bring them home.
Safe.
It's an initiative to help homeless people, to house homeless people who mostly don't want to be housed.
Yeah.
And here's a new ad that's out because it's on the ballot March 19th, even though early voting has already started.
Oh.
And early voting is going to start in all of the wards on March 4th because that's what we like to do. We don't have election day. We have election month and a half.
Call it season.
Yeah, election season. So here it is.
Tired of politicians' empty promises? Remember when the lottery was going to fund our schools and cut property taxes? That didn't happen. Then we were told selling the parking meters would balance the budget and reduce debt. Didn't happen either. Now Mayor Johnson promises he'll end homelessness if we approve a massive new tax on property sales across Chicago. Chicago already spends hundreds of millions on homeless programs. Now, the mayor wants another $100 million in taxes and has no plan. Sound familiar? Do you trust Mayor Johnson with $100 million in new taxes?
Ooh.
Pretty effective. All right. With that, let's welcome back to the program David Hochberg, Vice President of Lending of Team Hochberg at Homeside Financial. Good morning, David. How are you?
Good morning. I am outstandingly fantastic. Thank you for asking.
So I gave you a homework assignment yesterday, and you did deliver. What is really going on with the Bring Chicago Home initiative? What does that mean for the average person?
Well, here, what it means is that the mayor of the city of Chicago, who has $52 million assigned to him from budgeted from the Federal American Rescue Plan Act, and we've only invested 15% of that, or $7.8 million. So we have a mayor and city council who has millions of dollars of unused federal housing funds to house the homeless that's gone unused, wants to completely change the way that the Chicago transfer tax is implemented for those who are buying property in the city of Chicago, and they're of course putting it under the umbrella of a millionaire's tax. So what does it mean? It means that if you're buying a $300,000 home in the 606 zip code, you're currently going to pay $2,250 for a Chicago transfer tax, which is $7.50 per every $1,000 of the purchase price.
Okay.
Under the new proposed plan, you're going to only pay $1,800, right? So you're going to save $450, and nobody's asking to save, right? And nobody's coming in and saying, I'm not buying property in the city of Chicago because the Chicago transfer tax is so high and is so choking, right? Where this is going to absolutely destroy everybody, and why you should care about this, even though you don't own $1 million property, is because it's going to put more downward pressure on an already depressed Chicago commercial real estate market. Okay, 150 North Michigan Avenue was all over the papers a couple of weeks ago. Recently sold in 2017 for $121 million. Just sold a couple of weeks back for $60 million. Okay, so it lost 50% of its value. So under this proposal, a $2 million property, you're currently paying $15,000 for real estate transfer tax. It's going to go up to $31,000.
Oh.
If you're buying a $5 million piece of real estate in the city of Chicago, you're currently paying $37,500. It's going to go all the way up to $121,000. So let me explain how real estate works to the mayor, who is probably listening right now because he knows he's got nothing better to do. The more taxes you put on transferring property or on property in itself, it loses value, Spartacus, okay? And adding $83,500 worth of a tax to a $5 million property, which you might think is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money when that property has probably been in your family and has been transferred down from your grandfather to your father to you. And now you're going to have to lose $83,500 under this proposed tax when you go to sell that property. Where do you think that's going to come from, Amy and John? Do you really think the buyer's just going to say, you know what, I'm going to offer you $5 million, but I'm going to pay $83,500 more in real estate in transfer tax?
So the buyer pays for it, not the seller.
The buyer pays for it, but the seller's going to pay for it because the buyer's going to ask the seller to reduce the price or give the seller a transfer tax credit of $83,500. I mean, why is this so freaking difficult to this guy and these knuckleheads who are passing Palestinian
resolutions,
propaganda, revolution, all of that stuff that's got nothing to do with anything. They're giving each other hugs and high fives and crying in the city council.
Like we're going to tell Benjamin Netanyahu what to do.
Right.
I'm sure he was listening to the Chicago City Council meeting. I mean, I know it's a bunch of gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Just so that they feel better about themselves.
You sound angry, David.
I'm pissed off because there's no common sense, John. You're going to give a guy who can't answer questions. It's like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm every time he gets up there, to do a press conference. All I'm waiting for is Larry David to pop out and make some type of comment, okay? This guy is just completely over his skis. He has no idea what he's doing.
No idea.
Come back to me in a year and see how that taking the cops out of the schools work out.
Right.
Okay? I mean, let's see how that works out next school year.
Well, let's see how the Shot Spotter program is going to work out. Let's see how this transfer tax is going to work out. I mean, he can't even pay his own damn water bill or his parking tickets or his red light camera tickets. I mean, somebody had to come in and bail him out because he didn't pay his water bill for more than a year. They even set up a payment program for him. Not a big ask, $93 a month, and he made one of those payments. And then somebody had to swoop in because he could not be mayor unless all of
Can
his
I get somebody to swoop in? David, can you come in and swoop in for me,
bills
brother?
were paid in full. And then Stacey Davis Gates does the same darn thing. It's just unbelievable how they are so arrogant that they think they can't pay their bills. And he's in charge of the city's budget.
Here's the deal. They've got over $41 million of unused funds from the federal government. Until they use that money and show the city and the residents of the city of Chicago and business owners that don't live in the city of Chicago but unfortunately own in the 600 zip code, that they can effectively invest that money in homeless projects. You should not vote to give them another penny or change a perfectly good Chicago transfer tax system I've been doing this 23 and a half years, and it's worked perfectly fine during that period of time.
Yeah.
Okay, about 10 years ago, they added $3 on the way out because the North Shore state representatives, because they wanted to fund CTA. So instead of adding another $3 on top to get in, they added $3 to get out when you sell it. Okay? Where do you think that money's going to come from, business owners?
Yeah.
Right? It's going to come from your side.
That's right.
It's going to come from your side when you sell those properties. Get your heads out of your rear ends and vote this down.
Yeah, and Dave, when I first heard about the Bring Chicago Home, you know what I thought it was about?
What?
The brain drain that's happened. You know, a lot of our, inventors and people that are business owners who've left Chicago and left Illinois. I thought this was about bringing them back home to Chicago.
Oh, no.
I mean, what's a better rate of return on your investment? Taking care of the homeless or bringing people back who are productive members of society now, who can add more to the discussion of the economy, Dave?
I agree with you 100%. But you got $41.2 million, John, of a federal program that he hasn't used.
Right. Use that first.
Why give anybody and show us that it works? Why change a system that works and give those thieves another penny until they could use the money that they've got?
Yeah.
And show us that it works. And I'll tell you what, I don't like going on the trains. Okay, I get on the Swift at Skokie. I take it down to the Red Line, take the Red Line and get off a Grand. On the weekends, come downtown to do my show. Okay, That's what I do. Right.
Right.
It's a homeless shelter.
I know.
It smells
smells so bad.
It's disgusting.
I don't even want to sit down.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Hey, David. I'm gonna call these two people out because I'm calling Cory Brooks and Tyrone Muhammad out because you have programs that could really be beneficial to people in the Black and brown communities. Can you quickly talk about what those things are?
I told you exactly what was going to happen when I saw you at the event, at the cigar thing, right? I've reached out to Black and brown pastors for the past year and a half, offering complimentary credit enhancement, financial empowerment seminars to their members.
Yeah.
And only one has taken me up on it. Okay, I've spoken to 10. I've called a bunch of them. Nobody calls me back. Okay, I've got complimentary financial empowerment information that I could provide to the Black and brown community. I am doing outreach but nobody is asking for that outreach. Nobody is seeking that information. So I am doing my best. As you know, John, you've helped me open those doors.
Yeah.
Okay? And I've tried repeatedly, okay? And nobody, I've only got one come back. I forgot the pastor's name on the near south side. Super great guy. I'm blanking. It's Pastor Thurston. Stephen Thurston. Stephen Thurston, great guy.
Yes, he is.
He opened doors to a number of pastors, too. You know, I talked to them. I texted them. Radio silent.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't tell me you want, how bad things are. Okay, and how people are taking advantage of you. And I've got free, complimentary empowerment, financial empowerment, credit, revitalization, establishment information for absolutely nothing. And nobody within the doors that you opened, which I told you I would be shocked if they opened them. I told you that.
You did.
Right? And you're like, let me open the door. I'm like,
we're not done. We're not done with those two yet.
Okay, well, I'll be 75 years old. I'm 57 now. I'd love to do it while I still walk. Okay, so no, listen, I'm there. So don't cry to me, Argentina, about how things are, all right, and how all that stuff and how bad things are. When I've got complimentary financial empowerment information that your community could use tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so stop yourself.
Gotcha.
All right, let's talk about your Vestathon. What is that, and how can we help?
Yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I teamed up with Alderman Matt O'Shea from the 19th Ward. About 6 years ago, I met him on another radio station. He was coming in to promote his pancake breakfast to raise money for the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation to buy replacement bulletproof vests for the members, the men and women of the Chicago Police Department who can't afford to buy their vests. It's shocking to your listeners, might be shocked that all the other surrounding police departments buy their officers bulletproof vests every 5 years because the material degrades, and it's recommended every 5 years to keep the officer safe to replace them with a new vest with stronger material. Okay. Everybody, including the Illinois State Police, has a line item to provide their officers with replacement bulletproof vests. The city of Chicago, which blows my mind, with the 11,000 some officers, have to buy their own police replacement vest. They're given one when they graduate the academy, but they have to buy their own replacement vests, which just pisses me off, and it just makes me angry. And I teamed up with Matt O'Shea from the 19th Ward and the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation. We're hosting a Vestathon. I got a show on WGN Saturdays 10 to 1. We've got the Emerald Society there. We've got Commander Bauer's wife, who was tragically killed at the State of the Illinois building. We've got another officer's wife who was tragically killed in the line of duty. So our goal, Amy and John, is to raise enough money to buy 400 vests, which is $200,000. So the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation can take that line item in their budget and move it over to provide services to families of injured Chicago police officers who were injured in the line of duty or made the ultimate sacrifice, got killed in the line of duty, like Commander Bauer and the officer's husband, who's going to come on and talk about it this weekend.
Yeah, because once you've been shot, I mean, if a bullet hits your vest, that vest is compromised and they need a new one right away.
It's done.
100%. And sometimes if you were shot in the vest, you might have got shot in the arm or in the leg or another part of your body or in an area where the vest might not have covered, and you're going to be out of work for a prolonged period of time, and your family needs to be supported, and that's where the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation steps in.
I always wore mine.
What we're trying to do,
David. I always got mine fitted to be a bit bigger, because of those spots that are basically open to a shooting. So I always got mine a little bigger.
Did you have to buy your own?
No, I didn't. We had a stipend. It didn't pay for it all, but I do recall I had to put some money down on it.
That just is
but
so
I would I would always get I think it's the level 3, the top tier, because I wanted to make sure I was safe.
Wow. All right. If they where is there a website where they can go to donate? Maybe buy a vest.
Real quick, I know you got to hit a break. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you could go to CPD, Chicago Police Department, CPDvest.com, CPDvest.com. It's $500 per vest. I understand that a lot of listeners might not have the means to donate $500, but if 100 listeners donate $5, Amy and John, we got a vest.
Yeah.
And our goal is to get 400 vests. So whatever anybody could give, 100% of the funds goes directly to the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation. We're not taking a VIG. There's no administration cost. Everything that comes in goes directly to the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation.
All right. David Hochberg, the site is cpdvest.com. David Hochberg, Vice President of Lending at Team Hochberg at Homeside Financial. Thanks, David, as always, for joining us.
Sure. Thanks, guys. Bye.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? Well, you need to call QC Kinetics. Hi, it's Amy Jacobson. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids, cortisone shots, surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain from arthritis or injury? Well, don't let this pain keep you from living your best. QC Kinetics' advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility and independence. Walk and run, play and live. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. New locations, folks, in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Call 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements. Changing the world one life at a time.
I like your product. Your product is great. I'm 75, and it works well for me.
Yeah, I'm 70 years old, and it's really made a difference. It feels good.
Oh, I just feel better. I can tell the difference.
I feel like a teenager because I walk 2 miles every day, me and my husband. I mean, you can't go wrong with this product, I tell you.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code CHICAGO.
Chicagoland agrees. McGrath Lexus is the overwhelming choice of luxury vehicle shoppers. Their unparalleled team of sales consultants expertly help you navigate their immense inventory to arrive at the perfect vehicle for you. With 2 convenient state-of-the-art dealerships in downtown Chicago and in Westmont, they offer 2 times the selection and 2 times the discounts. And right now, McGrath Lexus is offering a premium for your current vehicle. It will never be worth more. Make this the year you enjoy the luxury of Lexus as only McGrath can offer. Your McGrath experience will take Lexus ownership to a whole new level. Do not deny yourself this privilege. You deserve it. Visit one of our 2 McGrath Lexus dealerships in downtown Chicago or in Westmont, or visit us online at McGrathLexus.com, because
when you do the math, you choose McGrath.
AM 560, The Answer.
And real quickly, we want to get this in because a big fan of the show and a friend of ours, Christine Shannon McGovern, is kicking off her campaign. She is running for Illinois State Rep of the 36th District. It's at Bourbon Street tonight from 6 to 8:30. Go out and help her. There's live music and help support a good cause. All right, thank you so much for making us part of your morning, part of your lives. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, and cat lover, and Balance of Nature lover, and thanks to Quinn McCarthy. I don't know. We'll find out what he loves later. But have yourselves a glorious day. It's going to be sunny, cloudy, a high of 58 degrees. It's now 9 a.m. WIND Chicago.